lose both of them.
Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. Well, the world's strongest man just dropped the ball, and the tent's caving in from the weight of it all. Yeah, the lion's at the cage, puppets in a rage, and the ringleader's on parade. It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Come on! Witness the greatest show on earth! Ignore the flames!
It's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that it's the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on.
Oilers, how are you, sir? I didn't send you a link because I didn't think you'd be here. I will send you one if you want to come up, though. You let me know. Flatty wins a booby prize again. And he's right after her. Howdy, ladies. How are you? And Miss Kai come running up right behind him. And she says it's getting colder there in New Zealand. Ooh, I'll bet it is. Ugh, I don't envy you, honey. Waiting on that first frost. Yep. I don't like it. Yucky. But some people like the fall and the cooler weather. I'm not one of those. I don't like it super hot, though. Pardon my bags and all the things. Flatty got me going on my intro. Thank you, darling. I always need that boost. When I see that, I know it's like, oh, shit, I'm late. Heather, how are you, sweetheart? And Miss Sherry, how are you in that gorgeous pool? That beautiful view. And Mr. Oilers, how are you, sir? I see that your prime minister was over trying to become that 51st state. Looks like he's ready. He's ready to take the leap, don't you think? You gonna vote for that, oh? LW, what's up? Who's Carney? Who the fuck do you think Carney is? No, he don't play football. I'm fairly certain he can barely play with the balls he's got. Actually, he's definitely smarter than Trudeau, though. Canada is not for sale. Let me know if you want to come up, oh. I'll send you the link. And I promise I won't let people talk over the top of you. Well, I can't promise I won't let them. I can promise that I won't let them. I can't promise that they won't do it anyways and piss me off. Check Discord. Okay, but if I do that... Okay. Hold, please. I have to do some bookkeeping. Discord. Oh. Okay, link. Hold, please. Give me about a half a second here. Where do I gotta go find it from? My email. I swear I'm doing it. I've already lost one person. See, how come everybody else can do nothing on the stream and people like gather around to watch them do nothing, but not me? Like, I gotta, I don't know, do something extravagant just to keep all y'all's attention. What the hell? Okay. Copy. Now go to Discord and go to O and paste. Push the arrow. There, got it. Carney is worse than Trudeau. He's further left, and that's hard to do. Well, it depends on which way you swing. Sorry. Okay. I'm getting Mother's Fool in trouble already, and I ain't even been on here for 15 minutes. Sherry, what do you say? I haven't seen much of it, just a short clip, and Carney didn't say a word. President Trump was talking. That's what I said. Why do you think I named it? Trump talks and Carney listens. Because I hardly heard him talk. You don't swing Canadian, LW. I'm just going to shut up. I feel like that's best for me. What the fuck is all over my screen? Why has it got like something on it? Oh, I know what it is. It's my... Hey, did y'all... Oilers, did you see my background? Let me show you. I got to put myself down. Am I drunk? No, I ain't drunk. Do I sound drunk? I just went and got coffee because I was kind of feeling a little tired. What else? So I figured we could listen to the Canadian and Trump little visit. It's like 33 minutes. You're coming up. Okay. Do we want to do that? I'll wait for Oilers to get in here so he can say hey for a minute, and then we'll start it. Unless LW comes up too. There's a thought. And any of my OGs ever wants to come up, y'all know all you got to do is tell me and I'll send you a link. I just don't do it every time because it's kind of a pain in the ass to send them out to everybody. So just remember that, OGs. You know who you are. And if you ever want to come on panel, all you got to do is say so. It's basically an open invitation for my own G's, minus excluding maybe one. Oilers is coming out. I mean, up. Coming up. Yeah, yes. Up, out, over. Play it. I'll come up during it. Okay. That's what we'll try to do here. I have to go find it first. Well, I'm putting the cart right before the horse already. Look at there. Okay. Who's dinging me? Is that the ring? I feel like that was the ring, but it didn't ring like it normally rings. Where am I going? YouTube. LW, are you having a stroke there? What? What's the next letter? Here comes O. Howdy, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
Long time no hear. How have you been?
Good. I just want to address LW is that he says he doesn't swing Canadian. I just want to say I don't swing American.
Well, when he said Canadian, all I could think was what Canadian. When I think Canadian, what the first thing that comes to my head is
Maple syrup.
and I want no. So it goes on pizza.
Cheese.
Right? Jeez. Yeah.
Well,
You know,
cheese whiz.
I have figured out, I know why you haven't been late. Now I know, because we got to get your mind into the gutter more often, because it's, yes, Canadian bacon. Thank you, Sherry. Hey, AV, what's up? Retarded. You're retarded, LW? Is that last thing you am you a bit retarded. I know you are.
I eat lots of bacon though. Okay? It's maple syrup.
Right,
that
Canadian
I have
bacon.
lots of cheese. Yes.
And what is Canadian bacon? I mean, like, think about the shape
Thick sliced
and
bacon.
such.
Thick
Right, and
sliced
it's,
bacon.
it's round and and it's round and yeah. Okay, look, I'm just gonna. This is like a train wreck. I just gotta stop. Okay, where'd it go?
Well, when you said lay, I thought, oh, you're talking about Hawaiian lay. You want me to get laid like a Hawaiian?
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it? A Canadian bacon is a raw ham. It's a big old slab of ham. One of the many reasons America is better is because of Canadian bacon. And is Canadian bacon raw ham? Is it raw?
Not that I know. I just thought it was good old meat. That's all.
Hi, Gurf. How are you, sir? No, well, now I want to know. Don't laugh, LW. We need facts.
Okay,
Is
it's a
Canadian
lean
bacon
cured
cooked?
pork meat, typically made from the pork loin, not the belly like traditional bacon.
Okay, so it's preserved. It's already, what'd you say, cured?
Yeah.
So it's not raw. It's not raw meat, right?
No.
Nope, it's not. All right, well, there. We already got off the
Hey, Gurf,
subject
how are you?
of the subject we were supposed to be on.
Okay, well, let's talk
Let's
about
see
Carney,
here.
because I did vote for that twit, by the way.
Thank you very
Okay. Did you watch him? Today?
Yes. I when I got home, I watched it. Yeah, I did, and
Okay, well,
let's just put it this way. I thought he just let Trump do all the talking there and wait till the cameras left, and I think that they'll have a decent one there. I know he wanted to get it words in edgewise at the end, and Trump just kind of cut it off there. So yeah.
did he?
But anyway,
I did kind of see that, actually. Yeah, let's see. That's why I named it Trump Talks and Carney Listens, because it wasn't like a
It's
normal
true.
conversation. Like you talk, I talk, you talk, I talk. It was Trump Talks.
Okay, but Trump should not have talked about other things and everything like that during
I agree.
during that. He should have just talked about Canada specifically. And the one thing that I will say is that he did say, I think that Canada should be the 51st state. And of course, Carney said, we'll never be the 51st state. And the other thing too is, he did say, but he did not call him Governor Carney, and that's a good sign. And obviously, these guys, well, they've done business together. So they've done business together. Did you know this way back when Trump did dealings with them for different stuff through his Brookfield, company and that. So they've done business together. So they get along. They're businessmen.
Who's the great potato kitty?
I have no idea, but
Good luck with your dictator. We will never be the 51st state. It's somebody from Canada.
well, I'm
And they have a
Canadian.
doggy.
I'm Canadian, but no, like I said, Canada is not for sale. That's
Well,
and,
I
and you know
know.
everyone's entitled. Everyone's entitled. With that, and that's fine. I mean, we agree to disagree here. They're great. The great potato kitty. So just want to say, opinions are fine.
Right. So you would never want to be our fifth. You would never want to become one of the. I don't want it either, to tell you the truth. I mean, you know that every time I put this in here, it's because it's a joke to me. But you wouldn't want to become like part of the U.S.
Well,
Oilers.
okay. Well, they don't. The government doesn't. Me, I'm on the fence. There's pros and cons to being American. There's a lot of there's good and there's bad things to being American there. So I'm on the fence. I'm that pigeon that's sitting on the fence there pooping away. Because I mean, like there are I mean that's like that's a really tough thing, because personally, but the politicians don't. They want Canada to work, which fine, okay, let's. But if they can't figure their shit out soon, then then yeah, I mean, I think it's time for us to then become American there. But there is pros and cons. I have Trump's writing in a lot of
If
in
I was
some.
Canadian, I would be offended. Let me put it to you that way. Like in a sense, not like I'm offended because I don't,
Um,
but I would be annoyed that here's how I feel about it. I would never want to give up America. I would never want to give up the US. I would never want to give up our heritage. I'd never want to give up I'd never want to become a part of another, you know what I mean? Like if we became Canada, I wouldn't like that. Like if our name became I wouldn't like that, because I feel like we would give up our identity, and I feel like that's kind of the way it would be for you guys. Like you would give up a piece of your identity unless they kept it all as Canada. And I think it's kind of funky the way your guys' government is, but I'm already confused with government, so it doesn't matter where it's coming from.
Okay, I just want to say something there. So I'm not offended at all. I'm actually exploring this. But years ago, back in 2012, I looked at a coworker where I worked with because they did not like Obama. They did not like the states, and I said, "You mark my words." I says, "Give it 20, say 30 years." And I said, I showed them a map just like of what you downloaded. That's why I love your background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not offended at all there. And I said, we're going to be the United States of Canada. And I says, United States of Canada, America. I says, something, and never, it'll never happen. I said, that's the most ridiculous thing. I said, no, you mark my words. I ran into that same person the other day. And you know what they said to me? Oh my God! They said, "I actually think that you're right. You're onto something." And I said, "I think," but I said, if these guys cannot figure their shit out, I said in Ottawa, and if they can't get the debt under control, because in Canada it is a lot than more than what it should be. I says then we should then join and become a part of the states. So I'm not offended. I'm just concerned about a couple of things there. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of good perks. There's a lot of good, like that line will disappear. I agree with Trump there. We'll be able to travel to Hawaii. We'll be able to do different things there. I am more or less. I just have concerns about healthcare and about you know um, and that. But that's about it there. So
Well, why
uh,
healthcare? I mean, because you
be,
guys, your healthcare sucks. I mean, let's be honest.
well, yeah,
Our
but
healthcare sucks too. So why can't we have sucky healthcare together?
because some
And
people, some people don't pay for their, and then some people do theirs. So, and yes, our healthcare does suck, absolutely, but yours is a lot better than our healthcare by a long shot.
see, I worry that we'll inherit some of those shitty things that you guys have. To tell you the honest to God truth, like I don't want Trump to go, oh well, hell, look at that. Let's go with that. Yeah, that's a good. So those are things that scare me, like the way your guys' healthcare. The other thing that scares me is how many liberals that will inherit from Canada. That scares the living shit right out of me. To tell you the truth, but um. Sometimes I wonder how many are really liberal. I feel like there's a lot of them waking up. Like even the ones that were truly stood on or stood out and said, "Yes, I am a liberal," or "I am," leaning that way. Um, I think a lot of those ones are going, "Yeah, well, I'm not feeling that way anymore." So,
We're glitching. I don't know, but he disappeared.
oh, I disappeared.
Yeah, I'm the only one that's on the screen here. Hey, guys, I'll go. I'll come back. I'll come back. You want to load up that video?
It's up. That's weird. Y'all can see me, right? Feel like you can't. I'm looking at myself on YouTube. Okay, we'll start it. You still see me? Okay, thank you, Flatty. Okay, let's start it and then we'll discuss all the good and bad shit. I'm glad you're here, Great Potato Kitty. All right. All right, here we go. Oilers, we're going to start this thing. And M. Dixon, glad you're here. Are you there, Oilers?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're going to start this thing. And I got to
Okay,
mute
'cause
myself.
something is wrong then with your. Oh, there we are. Okay. Yes, there you are.
Everybody said they can see me.
I could never see you. You must be hiding.
Open your eyes. Kai said, Oilers, you're still there. Gutter, we can see you. So I think you're disappeared now. Who disappeared?
No, I'm still here. See,
now
it's gonna be United States
oh,
of Canada.
United States
Both
of
of
Canada.
you.
I'm all about it.
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
no,
Let's see what happens.
we're fine now. But there's no video in the back end here.
Very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Mark Carney with us. As you know, just a few days ago, he won a very big election in Canada. And he ended up winning. So I really want to congratulate him. It was probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of politics, maybe even greater than mine. For the election quite a few times. And it's an honor to have you at the White House and the Oval Office. And you see the new and improved and 24 karat gold. That always helps too. Right? But it's been a lot of fun going over some of the beautiful, some great presidents or almost great presidents.
Okay, so can
all
you
having
just
a
stop
reason
it
for
right
being
there?
up, every one of them. So it's very interesting. But I just want to congratulate you and
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, you still got it playing? Okay. I wanted to tell you who these other ministers were that were sitting on the side of Mr. Carney here.
Okay, just a minute. Let me go back just a
Yeah,
hair.
thank you. And something's happening weird in StreamYard, so I have to go over to YouTube.
Okay, how's that?
Okay. So this guy here that's right, the black suit, the gray hair, the ear dude, that is
This
just
dude?
which one? Hang on here. I can't see you, so hang
The
on here.
first dude in the
Yes.
left corner? Yeah.
Yes, that is Stephen. That is McKinnon, Minister McKinnon. There, Steve McKinnon. There, in the middle, the blonde chick in the white, who
Mm-hmm.
looks like she's just about
Mm-hmm.
dead and everything like that. That is Melanie Jolie. Then the dude that is closest to Carney is Dominic LeBlanc. There. So those are the guys, and that. So okay, I just wanted to say that. So we got
Uh-huh.
McKinnon,
So we
we
know
got
who
Jolie,
is.
and Jolie, and that. Okay, just letting you
Okay.
know. Let's continue on. Sorry to bother you.
Okay.
Sorry to-
No.
a reason for being up, every one of them. So it's very interesting. But I just want to congratulate you. I thought you were excellent things in common. We have some tough points to go over, and that'll be fine. We're going to also be discussing Ukraine, Russia, the war, because Mark wants it ended as quickly as I do. I think it has to end. We had some very good news last night. The Houthis have announced that they are not, or they've announced to us at least, that they don't want to fight anymore. They just don't want to fight. And we will stop the bombings, and they have capitulated. But more importantly, we will take their word. They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore, and that's what the purpose of what we were doing. So that's just news. We just found out about that. So other ships going, as you know, sailing beautifully down the various seas. It wasn't just the canal, it was a lot of other places. And I will accept their word, and we are going to stop the bombing of the Houthis, effective immediately. And Marco, you'll let everybody know that, okay? Do you have something to say about that, by the way? It's pretty big announcement.
By the way, who the heck are the Houthis, if I may ask?
This was always a freedom of navigation mission. Besides, these are, a band of
I guess Monday night, some of you are coming with us. I think before then, we're going to have, if it was negative or positive, I can't keep that out. It is really, really positive. And that announcement will be made, but it'll be one of the most important announcements that have been made in many years about a certain subject, very important subject.
For your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president, focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here, with the help of my colleagues here. I'm going to spread the credit to transform Canada. with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can go
Right.
forward.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement.
Mr. President.
Anybody?
Mr. President, is USMCA dead?
No, it was actually very effective, and it's still very effective, but people have to follow it. So, that's been a problem. People haven't followed it. But it was a transitional step a little bit. And as you know, it terminates fairly shortly. It gets renegotiated very shortly. But I thought it was a very positive step from NAFTA. NAFTA was the worst trade deal in the history of our country, probably in the history of the world. And this was a transitional deal, and we'll see what happens. We're going to be starting to possibly renegotiate that if it's even necessary. I don't know that it's necessary anymore, but it served a very good purpose. And the biggest purpose it served, a very, very terrible deal. It should have never been made. It was made many years ago, but it should have never been made.
Canada and the United States. Would you like to see your first trade deal be with Canada? Our neighbors?
I would love that. Look, I for the and watched him come up when he wasn't given much of a chance, and he ran a really great campaign. He did a really great debate. I think that debate was very helpful. I was going to raise my hand. I don't know if that's good or bad. I shouldn't say that. That might hurt you. But no, he ran a really great election, I thought. And yeah, something could happen. Something could happen. Yeah, please.
What's the top concession you want out of Canada? The top concession you want out of Canada?
Concession?
Yes,
Friendship.
but that's not a concession.
No, we're going to be friends with Canada. Regardless of anything, we're going to be friends with Canada. Canada's a very, to me, I know so many people that live in Canada. My parents had relatives that lived in Canada, my mother in particular. And no, I love Canada. I have a lot of respect for the Canadians. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, how good, the great one. You happen to have a very, very good hockey player right here on the Capitals, who I have a lot of, he is a big, tough cookie too. Just broke the record. And he's a great guy. And, we had the team here, and I got to know a lot of the players. But now Canada is a very special place. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, and Mr. Prime Minister, I'd like to get your response to this too. But Mr. President, you have said that Canada should become the 51st state.
Yeah. No. Well, I still believe that, but it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, as a real estate developer, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said, that's the way it was meant to be. But, I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway, because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really be a wonderful marriage, because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. We have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have, I must say, Canada is stepping up the military participation because Mark knew, they were low and now they're stepping it up. And that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
Why?
About different things. We want to protect our automobile business, and so does Mark. But we want to, we have a tremendous abundance of energy, more than any country. We have, just in Alaska alone, Anwar's been reopened now. Anwar's probably the largest, but we have tremendous amounts of energy. Other countries don't. We're both lucky in that way. They have energy. We have energy. We have more than we can ever use and more than we could ever sell, actually. And you have the same thing. So we're two countries that are very lucky. If you look at China, they don't have that. It's a big disadvantage. Other countries is over other places.
When you consider what Mr. Carney just said, that Canada is not for sale, does this make the discussion a little more difficult to start on?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, time will tell. It's only time. But I say they ended up being doable, and only doable in a very friendly way. But if it's to everybody's benefit, Canada loves us, and we love Canada. Over time, we'll see what happens. China.
I was hoping you could clarify something. Earlier this morning, Capitol Hill Secretary Bessie said that there had been no negotiations yet with China. You have said something different. But,
I'm sorry, but I stared at this the whole time I watched this earlier today. Can somebody tell me what that bust or whatever the fuck they want to call it in the back there? Who is that? It's kind of creepy looking.
That eagle, that gold eagle?
And I can't see what it says. No, the bust up on the top, right by his head. See it?
Oh, the black thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Black diamond. I can't figure out who it is, but just watch. It's kind of creepy looking.
Around in the Pacific, they want to meet, and they're doing no business around in the Pacific Ocean. Big turn. Those are big ships. Those ships take about 10 miles to turn. And I know on trade because of an incompetent president that we had who preceded me, grossly incompetent.
That looks like Joe
You're finding it
Biden.
out more and more now. And by not trading, we're losing nothing. So we're saving $1 trillion. So we'll be.
It looks like he has a mustache.
You would know if I met. I'd tell you they want to meet.
Well, didn't Joe Biden have one?
But we are right now. Look, they're suffering greatly. Their economy is suffering greatly because they're not doing trade with the U.S. and they made most of their money off the U.S. Don't kid yourself. They don't make the money off other countries like this. And they were making. We had a trade imbalance. Sure. We had a deficit, or they had a surplus. Another way of saying it, of more than $1 trillion. Think of it. More than $1 trillion. They have now 145% tariff. There's no trading. You can't trade with 145%. We are therefore making, in a certain way, $1.1 trillion.
Mishka said Winston Churchill. Ah. Yep. Okay, I see it now. Mm-hmm. Hey, James, what's up? Okay.
In other words, we're not losing $1.1 trillion. Our deficit is much better. When I started, I saved dollars a day on trade. That's rapidly turning around. We looked at numbers this morning. So we were losing, the United States during Biden was losing more than a day on trade. Those numbers are rapidly turning between the tariffs. Don't forget, we're now getting 25% on cars, 25% on aluminum, 25% on steel, and maybe more importantly, massive numbers of companies are moving into the United States. Honda.
What's up, fools? How are ya? Yo, 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 15 months. Thank you, thank you.
We have tremendous, the car companies are moving in at levels we've never seen before. The biggest investment ever made in the United States is being made right now. Trillions of dollars. I would say we could be at $9 trillion. You could go back to other presidents. They haven't had $1 trillion for their entire term. Look at Biden. He had bad numbers. People were leaving. They weren't coming in. They were leaving with Biden, and he didn't know the difference. The only thing he knew is people coming in. You know who they were? Illegal immigrants, okay, from prisons, from mental institutions, from all sorts of places that weren't good, from gangs, from Venezuela. They were coming in and they were criminals and murderers, 11,888 people that murdered, and at least half of them murdered more than one person. This is what Biden led into our country. I'm bringing in big companies. We have Apple is investing $500 billion. We have Jensen, as you know, is going to be 500 biggest chip maker, or chip thinker, I call him. He's really a thinker more than a maker. But we also have the maker, Mr. Wei. I get to know them all in the last, it was a cram course, but they're all moving into America because of the tariffs. And I don't think people have appreciated it. Some people do, some of the smart people do. So we have more money coming in. It's really an amazing thing. We have more money being invested in the United States now than at any time ever before in our history, and it's not even close. And I think the real number could be 9 or 10 trillion. We don't know everybody that's doing it. We have many. I just heard about a plant that's being built right now, a very, very top of the line company. And they didn't come to the White House. They're just doing it because they're making it, because if they build here, there are no tariffs. And this is the big market. This is the market that sets us apart from it. This is the market where everyone wants to be. Now, if I didn't come here and do this, all of a sudden we wouldn't be the market where everyone wants to be. So we're able to do it in time. But we're going to have a great announcement. And I'm not necessarily saying it's on trade. Going to the beginning, we're going to have a great announcement over the next few days, an announcement that will be so incredible, so positive. And I'm not saying, I don't want you to think it's necessarily on trade. Just to finish, we also have a situation, because everyone says, when are you going to sign deals? We don't have to sign deals. We could sign 25 deals right now, Howard, if we wanted. We don't have to sign deals. They have to sign deals with us. They want a piece of our market. We don't want a piece of their market. We don't care about their market. They want a piece of our market. So we can just sit down, and I'll do this at some point over the next 2 weeks, and I'll sit with Howard and Scott and with our great vice president, who has done a really good job. We have some good news to report on a lot of fronts, but JD will be there, and Marco, and we're going to sit down and we're going to put very fair numbers down, and we're going to say, here's what this country, what we want, and congratulations. We have a deal. And they'll either say, great, and then you people will say, oh, it's so chaotic. No, we're flexible. Cases, we'll sign some deals. It's much less important than what I'm talking about. For the most part, we're just going to put down a number and say, this is what you're going to pay to shop. And it's going to be a very fair, I want to be friendly with countries. But you keep writing about deals. When are we going to sign? When? It's very simple. We're going to say, in some cases, we want you to open up your country. In some cases, we want you to drop your tariffs. I mean, India, as an example, has one of the highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with that. And they've agreed already to drop it. They'll drop it to nothing. They've already agreed. They would have never done that for anybody else but me. So we're going to put down some numbers and we're going to say our country is open for business. And they're going to come in and they're going to pay for the privilege of being able to shop in the United States of America. It's very simple. It's very simple. So I wish they'd keep, stop asking, how many deals are you signing this week? Because one day we'll come and we'll give you 100 deals. And they don't have to sign. All they have to do is say, oh, we'll start sending our ships right now to pick up whatever we want or to bring whatever we want. It's very, very simple. And I think my people haven't made it clear. We will sign some deals, but much bigger than that is we're going to put down the price that people are going to have to pay to shop in the United States. Think of us as a super luxury store, a store that has the goods. You're going to come and you're going to pay a price, and we're going to give you a very good price. We're going to make very good deals. And in some cases, we'll adjust. For 50 years. And we're just not going to do that anymore. We can't do that. And we can't let any country do that to us. We're just not going to do it anymore.
About the deal that you've reached with the.
We're not going to attack your ships.
And where did you hear about that?
It doesn't matter where I hear. The very good source, I could tell you. Very, very good source. Would you say, Marco? I would say pretty good, right, JD? A very good source. They don't want to be. They don't want to be bombed anymore. You know. Sort of thought that would happen.
Is the U.S. prepared to walk away from that pact?
From what pact?
USMCA.
No. It's fine. It's there. It's good. We use it for certain things. I won't say this about Mark, but I didn't like his predecessor. I didn't like a person that worked for. She was terrible. Actually, she was a terrible person, and she really hurt that deal very badly because she tried to take advantage of the deal and she didn't get away with it. You know what I'm talking about. But so, we had a bad relationship having to do with the fact that we did that relationship pretty much. The USMCA is great for all countries. It's good for all countries. We do have a negotiation coming up over the next year or so to adjust it or terminate it.
Mr. President,
I'll say a word on USMCA if I may, Mr. President. It is a basis for a broader negotiation. Some things about it are going to have to change. And part of the way you've conducted these tariffs has taken advantage of existing elements that are come, and that's part of what we're going to discuss.
Right.
On board.
During the campaign, Prime Minister Carney talked about the American vitriol. How do you react if Canada decided not to shop in the American store as much as before and decided to partner with other countries?
Well, we don't do much. But we make the best military equipment in the world by far. The missiles, the submarines, everything we have is really top notch. I rebuilt our military during our last term. Stupidly, we gave some away to Afghanistan, which shouldn't have happened. But that was, I think it was the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. There was just a very incompetent people. But if you look, the man that's now at the head of our Joint Chiefs, he led the attack on ISIS for me. That's why he's the head of the Joint Chiefs. And Raising Cane, he was unbelievable. And as you know, we defeated ISIS in weeks, and he ran the campaign. I said, I like him. But I knew him before. I went to Iraq. But Canada does a lot more business with us than we do with Canada. Yeah.
Mr. President.
Your investments, Mr. President, when do you think the investments that you've announced, $1 trillion this year?
When you're saying about the tariffs?
No, about the investments that you've announced. You've announced.
Oh, it's hitting right now. Look, they're already starting AI plants. These are not people that look for financing. That's a good thing. You know, in real estate, you get a site, then you have to look for financing. You have to get your zoning. You know, 5 years later, you start building. You get a bank, then the bank's no good. Yeah, these people have massive amounts of cash. The CHIPS Act was a ridiculous thing because that doesn't get them to build. All we did is hand very wealthy companies money. The CHIPS Act that was done by Biden, billions. We give them billions of dollars. They don't even have to do anything with it. And then if you weren't, if you didn't have, and I don't want to be a wise guy, but if you didn't go with the DEO, you had to have a certain percentage of this and that and that and that. It's impossible to have. The companies actually complained to me. They say they gave me all this money, but nobody can get these people to do anything. I mean, look, President Obama, and if he wanted help, I'd give him help because I'm a really good builder and I build on time, on budget. He's building his library in Chicago. It's a disaster. And he said something to the effect, I only want DEI, I only want woke. He wants woke people to build it. Well, he got woke people and they have massive cost overruns. The job is stopped. I don't know. It's a disaster. And I don't like that happening because I think it's bad for the presidency that a thing like that should happen. He's got a library that's a disaster. And he wanted to be very politically correct. And he didn't use many, really many millions of dollars over budget. And I would love to help him with it, or somebody else. I could recommend professionals, but it was not built in a professional manner. By the way,
Hating me, hating me. I know it's robot, and thank you, LW. I wondered if it was. I went over to my phone to look, and I could. Pisses me off. So, there's a few more minutes of it. The part that I really wanted you to see, is where he talks about where am I? Why did I go away? Hell. There. He talks about Gavin and he calls him new scum. And he repeats it like 3 or 4 times. It's to Carney. Oh, do you know who Newscomb is? He says, do you know who Gavin Newscomb is? No, he don't call him Newsome. He calls him Newscum. I'm not shitting you. I have it recorded. And I am going to make a short out of that shit. You like my background? Like that? Here, let me take this down. Just make sure everybody gets to see it. As I said, I'm not a big supporter of making Canada our 51st state by no means, but I think it's kind of funny. New scum. Yes. I love how he literally said, you know who Gavin Newscomb, Newscomb? and JD Vance is sitting over in that chair, and so is Whistle Tricker, what the hell's his name? The one beside him. Rubio. And they're both trying not to smirk. I mean, they're both wanting to just die laughing. It's priceless. He said that in rallies, gutter, new scum. Yeah, that cracks me up. I love it. Canada should not be left alone. Yeah, he did. He said, "Yeah, I got him water." It's the funniest thing. I'm gonna make a short of that shit. You watch me. Don't make Canada a state. Make them a territory. They follow our laws, but they don't get to vote. Well, how fair is that? I mean, we got lots of buddies up there. Ike, you sure you want to do that? Kelly will. I still love it. Man, new scum. I love how he clarifies it to Carney. So yeah, what else do I know? I'd play the rest of it, but I know it'd just screw up. So, but I will make a short of that new scum and the whole thing. Oh my gosh, it's funny when Vance sits back too and smirks. Oh, he's trying so hard not to laugh. He is the ultimate troll. I mean, if we could only troll as well as Trump can troll. Where did Oilers go? He bounced down, I think, because it was glitchy. So he said he was just going to go to chat. I don't blame him. It makes it hard to hear and be able to follow along, Peru and China are buddies. And for a long time. Y'all probably already knew that, but it's news to me. Oh, me too, darling. Did you see who's bombing who? Somebody's bombing Pakistan. They've gone from we're going to release the Epstein files to Canada becoming a state. He's trolling some people, not the ones you think. Right? He's trolling us. I wonder about his hair. Is it real? How much dollars goes into it? Who? Trump's hair? India, that's who it is bombing Pakistan. Got it. All Divas Wrestling show this Thursday in honor of Mother's Day. Woohoo! Yeehaw. That's what I should do is go camping for 3 days. Means the only time I'm going to get to go. Mark's like, I'm going back to work pretty soon. Funny, because I thought you said you were taking a bunch of time off. Newscomb's hair. Oh. Is there anything real on that prick? Probably not. Yeah, I'm not sure either, Kaylin. I was watching it on Portland Andy's channel and I got distracted. On probably who knows what. Pedicures or it could have been anything. Hey, P Digits, what's up? We should have voted for Kamala. No, no, not even on Trump's worst day. Yeah, it was India. New scum is going to leave office and another nut job will take over. Yeah, the problem is I worry about where new scum is going to try to go. Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to try to make it to the White House, whether who's going to beat who off with the stick, him or AOC, but holy shit. That thought's scary. Amazing. India can't figure out plumbing, but also has rules. The world is hilarious. Well, come on. This is my 6th year every week discovering the lump that changed my life. So it's like your belly button. You're like 6 years old. Kind of. It's the 6th year, huh? I'm still free from it. So you did something right, darling. Thank goodness. We still got our flatty. No doubt, great point. Priorities might something. Don't matter. I hate a whole seat, right? I'm with you. I can't fucking stand her. I'm not sure which one of the twats I'd like to smack in the, like, just, And whether it's AOC, Kamala, or what's the other ones? Omar. That. Also, if Nancy wasn't so old, I wouldn't mind Ilhan Omar. Yeah, that one. P Digits, that is not funny. Deb, glad you're still with us. Me too. Anyways, I'm so damn glad she's here. That one that married her brother. Turban chick. Yeah, that Ilhan Omar. Weird bitch. I agree, Mishka. AOC. They got into office by getting on their knees. If I run for I don't know, but if I can do it by getting on my knees, my ass is taking the seat. I'm telling you right now. Go big or go home, bitches. If I'm going to do it by getting on my knees, we're going straight to the White House. Oh, Monica was in the wrong spot. She should have been sitting in the chair. Bill should have been under the desk. Me either. Why do you think I said I'd be sitting in the chair, Kelly? I'm so bad. I'm sorry, Ray. I haven't drank a drop. I know LW asked if I was drunk. I'm not. I'm so bad, I know. My husband will be in here going, what the hell? Not really. He could give two shits, trust me. The fact that I'm in here and not bugging him makes his day. He can eat his nuts. that Miss Mishka got him and continue to feel all special. That was so sweet, you Mishka. He felt pretty darn special. He's like, there's a package. Why is there a package? We didn't order anything, did we? I'm like, no. Why is there a package? I'm like, I don't know. So I got up and got it, and I'm like, oh, it's to you. Or no, I opened it first. That's what it was. Because there was 2 packages there. And I opened mine, and then I opened his. And I was like, well, it's a box. What the hell is this? So I grabbed out the little note, and it said it was from Mishka, from Marv. So I gave it to him, and he's like, oh my gosh, I am special. A man in his nuts, that's right. And then she sent chocolates, and I was like, oh, I'm certain she sent those for me because they're dark chocolate. She didn't want you to have those. I did share them with him, though. Actually, he's been probably coming and getting them more than I have. Those dark chocolate Rolos are to die for, though. Oh, my gosh. What do you hear in the background? The fan? What did he say? You sound a little sauced up. Do I sound sauced up? I'm not. No, I just poured me some more coffee. Do you want to see? I'll show you. I am not. Wait, though, because I do need to just hold, please. Not because I need a drink, because I'll show you my drink. But dark chocolate. Mm-hmm. And they're Rolos. And they're like, the caramel in it, I don't think it's your normal Rolo caramel. I think it's like salty. Is she hip? I am not hiccuping. I usually do that if I eat anything. Is coffee the new alcohol? Well, it's always kind of been mine. There's nothing worse than a wired drunk. And boy, howdy. You give me Bailey's, or I think I might still have some amaretto over there. I could sip on that. Let's meet. No, I'm sure he would tell me I shouldn't eat those. However, I'm a little annoyed because let's not get going on RFK, okay? Because you're gonna get me going. Don't stop. He wants me to rant. That's what it is. I'm so pissed that Martin's like, I'm gonna go back to work. Well, first I'm gonna go to this funeral. I understand. Everybody gotta go to their funeral. But rest in peace, Dave. But why would you make a service on Mother's Day? I am not drinking. I have not. Why did Rick kind of backtrack on dumb Longhorn Lester with dude Black Diamond? I'm telling you what. Look who's here. Who dis?
What's up? I heard you'd been drinking and I needed to come up on here and straighten you out. What's going on?
Do a breathalyzer test. No, I'm
right. Okay, that is a 0.12.
I have not. I have not touched a drop of drink. I have coffee. That's it.
Me neither.
Lie.
Neem either.
Yeah, lies. I know better.
No, I
It is-
hadn't. I have now though. I figured I couldn't
Oh.
hang out with you being drunk on the panel without at least opening a beer. So
Yes, it's my fault. I'm sure. Oh, I got jokes for you. Do you want to hear my jokes? I wrote these down just for you. I also found some trivia things. What the hell did I do with them? I don't remember. Okay. Here, before I sidetrack anymore. Can I read this? Why is the Avon Lady Walk funny?
I'm not sure.
Cause her lipstick.
I like it. I like it. All right, cool. Keep going.
What's the difference between tofu and dildos?
You got me.
They're both meat substitutes.
Nice.
Okay. The difference between enzymes and hormones.
I don't know. Let's hear it.
You can't make an enzyme.
You know how you make a hormone?
Keep her money.
Yeah, don't pay her. Yeah.
That's right. I knew it was something like that. I shouldn't have screwed it up. I should have let you just tell it, being say. Yeah. So, what else do I know? What'd you think of Trump's little conversation by himself while the prime minister sat there and listened?
I only caught bits and pieces of it. Haven't really watched the whole thing. Just now getting to sit down, but I did kind of catch it. What's the abridged version?
He talked and the prime minister basically listened. He talked about all different kinds of things. I'd like to be able to summarize it for you, but he didn't. There was lots of things talked about. Let's admit it. He has a tendency to squirrel, and he definitely squirreled. And so he didn't really just talk about Canadian shit. Like, he talked about other stuff.
Huh.
So it was, I mean, but it's Trump. It's, how he normally does. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
So I found this for you right here. Let me bring this up.
Okay.
So is this going to be like basically the equivalence of you talking to yeah, just check this out. Here you go.
Oh Lord, I'm scared. What in the fuck? That's how
When
she'll
you come home from the pub 4 hours late and she gives you this look.
That's actually, that reminds me of me if we go drink and Marvin can he'll be like, all right, I'm not going to drink. I'll be the one to drive. And I'll be like, okay. So I'll start drinking and he'll have a few drinks and I'll have a glass of wine. And, by the time we leave, I'm seeing, 4 headlights instead of 2. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I like that. All right, you can pull it down. I was just putting it up.
Yeah, that's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, so what else going on? What's your show about tonight?
What do you think of my well, it's about President Trump lecturing the prime minister, because that's basically how it went. I mean, I don't think the prime minister said 50 words.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say anything the whole time I was watching, so.
Yeah, he got a few words in, but it wasn't a lot. But when Trump reiterated news come, I'm telling you what, the look on Vance's face was priceless. I can't wait to clip that shit. 2 mouths, 8 eyes, right, Oilers?
We've all seen that before.
Oh boy.
The
I've been
look.
there. I've been the one to see that many eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody's been there. Everybody's been there, done that.
Marv usually he's like, she has a cutoff limit, and if he's not around, I definitely have a cutoff limit. It's like, yeah, 2 glasses for her, absolutely no more. Because otherwise, it's like the chick that tequila makes her clothes fall off. Yeah, you just never know where I might be or what I'm doing. So it's best that I just not drink that much.
So is it that you don't like clothes or that you really like tequila?
It's probably more that I don't like clothes. It's a cheap date. Definitely a cheap date. Marv used to say, "Oh shit, I just give her the bottle cap. She'll sniff it and be hammered by the time we get home."
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I liked my little Canada, US. Of course, I just looked that up on the internet and it pulled right up and I went, "Oh, look, perfect. That'll go good in there."
Right. I do like that. Now, I've talked about this before. I don't want Canada.
Me either.
I would take Greenland. I would take Greenland, but I don't want Canada.
I kind of really don't want them all. Hey, I know. Oh, this is the trivia. Do you know how far Alaska is from Russia?
I want to say at the closest point, it's only like 19 miles or something.
That's what you'd think. So it's actually the closest point for the 2 mainlands is 55 miles. But the closest between the 2 islands, one is the US and one is Russia, is 2.7 miles.
Right. That's what I was saying. Yeah. 19. Yeah. It's close. That's why, Sarah Palin, I can see Russia from my house. Yeah. I knew it's really close.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the 2 islands that are the closest between Idaho or between the United States and Russia is only 2.47 miles apart from each other. That's incredible.
Right. From the islands island to island. Nobody inhabits that, but yeah.
Okay. And
imagine a Cold War if they did. They would be like shooting potato guns at each other.
Right?
It'd be awesome.
They drowned each other. Alaska which one has more coastline? Alaska or what's left over of the United States? In other words, don't include Alaska, but just the United States shoreline. Which one has more, Alaska or the United States?
Probably Alaska.
It does.
Yeah.
I believe they said Alaska's was 33,000 miles. And the United States was only 14,000 miles. I thought that was pretty trippy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to imagine.
Mm-hmm. My fan's pissing me off. Can you hear it?
Yeah. We can all hear it. It's good.
We can all hear it. Let's see if I can lower the decimals on this bitch. Okay, so
It's really not that bad though.
I'm good.
For your show.
For my show. Yeah, you would never allow that. Ever.
I'm just kidding. Just joking.
It reminds me of my aunt when she painted my mom's cupboards in her kitchen. She painted them hunter green. And my mom was all excited and they get all done. And my aunt stands back. My mom stands back and they're looking at it. And my aunt goes, "Yeah, these look really nice for your house." My mom goes, "What the hell? You wouldn't do this to your house?" My buddy's like, "Nope, probably not."
It's like in Caddyshack with Rodney Dangerfield. He's talking about, the guy got that hat on, he's like and looking down and he sees the hat and he's like, "Well, somebody should get a free bowl of soup with a hat like that." And he looks up and Judge smells it. "Oh, but it looks good on you,"
Yeah.
Couple of them naked
yeah.
lady tees. Oh, I've Ronnie Dangerfield. He was great.
Oh, he was. Absolutely. So how was your day?
It was pretty good. Just got back, did some trivia, don't have to do it tomorrow night. They're the one place is remodeling. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
so I was actually able to jump on here. I was like, oh wow, I don't have anything I have to do right now.
Yeah, that never happens.
I know. It's kind of
So-
nice. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you're usually busy 7 days a week. Doing something.
right, most of the time. But
Mhm.
not tonight.
Not tonight. The other thing I was thinking about was I was trying to figure out what the press secretary's name was. I always forget. I always want to call her Catherine. And so today I was like, it's Caroline. And Marv goes, I'm like, how am I going to remember that? And I'm like, duh, now I know how. And of course, you know exactly what I'm referring to. But yeah.
Yeah, I love that song too.
Sweet Caroline. Me too. Love Neil Diamond.
I know I was watching that show I was talking about. That what was it? Great American Family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was called. About where that they don't know. They think the little girl's older, and they keep going. It's pretty good actually. It's on Hulu, but yeah, there's a couple. They keep reusing in that like different versions, and they start out with the Neil Diamond. Then there's another one later on, but they keep using Shiloh, the Neil Diamond song Shiloh.
Mm-hmm.
Shiloh when I was young. The whole thing. And
Yep.
it's like I watched a few episodes, and then the whole next day I got the song stuck in my head. Finally get it out, and I was like, well, let me check out another episode before I go to bed. They played the song again. I'm like, God damn it. So the next day I'm like sitting there waking up singing Shiloh. I'm like, oh my God. Now I'll have it stuck in my head again. And I hope all of you do as well.
Mm-hmm. Time in a Bottle gets stuck in my head frequently.
Well, that would be annoying.
Really? I love that song.
I like it, but yeah, that would be annoying to have stuck in your head all day. At least Shiloh's fun.
Yeah, I hate to have anything stuck in my head for too long though, man. I can't. Like it will literally drive me insane. Of course, Marv loves. No, shut up. Hey, outlaw, what's up?
Yeah. So what else going on in here? What you got? What kind of excitement you got?
That was about it. I did see, like I said, where India and Pakistan are going at it and fighting like hell. I said something earlier about, it'd be nice if, like they would all figure out what they're gonna, like what's gonna be popular for the day. So I need to, I know what to make my live as.
Yeah. What are they fighting over? I haven't looked into it enough. I mean, what are they actually mad about?
I don't know. Somebody will tell us here. LW?
Shithole versus shithole.
Right.
It's like there's I would love to travel so many places, do see so many things, but I have no desire to go to India and I have no desire to go to Pakistan. I mean, there's like no. Here's a free ticket. Maybe India if I had a free ticket and place to stay. But it better be nice place to stay.
Yeah. No, I just soon not. I'm all about like when people are like, oh no, I'd love to go here because it might be a little risky. No, I got a thing about trying to live a little longer, and I feel like that's one way to live longer is not go to those crazy ass places like that.
I don't mind the risk factor. I kind of like it's fun to be, kind of in that stranger in a strange world feeling like I love that stranger in a strange land, to be that person and be like, holy shit, I'm lost. I don't know anybody. I just got off an airplane. I have no idea what to do. I love that feeling and it's fun, but I don't know where I'd eat. You know what I mean? I guess if you were like downtown, in a big place, there's going to be that Pizza Hut or something you can always know you can run to because they're everywhere. but I don't want to go somewhere where I can't eat and everything smells like curry.
Right. Right. Ugh, I can't do curry. What's up, LW?
Hello, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How about y'all?
We hanging.
We be hanging. How's your nephew doing? All right.
Yeah, he's doing better.
Cool.
Ended up he has MRSA.
Oh. How the hell did he get
Yeah.
that? Do you have a bad cut or something? And
I don't know, man.
isn't that usually, you worked in those old folks' homes, Gutters? I mean, isn't that how they normally get it? They got like an open wound and then they pass it around. Isn't that kind of
Yep.
how that works? Yeah.
Yep. And if you aren't hot on that shit, man, it spreads like crazy.
Yeah, it gave him a really bad seizure. He was in a coma for a day,
Oh my goodness.
but he's out of ICU. He's in a regular bed.
How old is he?
Oh, he's like 20.
Yeah, that's why I mean, he'd have had to had some kind of, cut somewhere and stepped in opened the wrong door handle or something. I mean, that stuff's super contagious, but
yeah.
Marv, I mean, he, with Marv losing his hand, he ended up with it. And it was, of course, from, them coming into his room and not making sure they were clean and not make, I mean, all it took was them to be in another room where there was an infection going on. And then that's, going into his room and they didn't make sure they were clean enough. And lo and behold, he ends up with it. I mean, he had, wounds from his toe to his leg and his stomach and his hand. Oh, and underneath his arm. So all those places were opened.
yeah, and a lot of times like, well, we're gonna need to keep you here for another week to keep you under observation, and then you end up getting that shit. It's like, you'd have probably been better off going to your house, like anything rather than sitting there, because that's where you're gonna catch exactly like anyways saying hospitals are the filthiest places. I mean, that's where all it is sickness, like,
Yep. Well, when I ended up leaving the whole working in the medical field, they had already put into place that if you had a resident that came in to the hospital with, say, a pressure sore, and they had been in your facility, you were given a fine immediately. And then they worked down from there as to what else you would end up with, because they were so sick of seeing residents come in with pressure sores that should have never happened had they been turned like they were supposed to and been moved around. So that, I mean, if you are laying on something so long it gives you a sore, you're a hurting unit, because that spot you've laid on it enough to create a sore.
how long does that because I have no idea. I've never worked in that industry, but how long does when you say too long? So I mean, is it 2 days or is it 2 weeks or is it where does that line go?
It only takes a few hours for them to start to create breakdown of the skin, but you won't see it because it's on the inside at that point. But you'll see a red spot, and that's like on their coccyx or on their hips.
Wait, on their
places
what?
like that. They're on their tailbone.
Oh, okay.
That's a big
cock. I didn't know what you mean.
Especially if they're skinny, on their tailbone or their hips, anything like that, that's one of the places that they'll end up with pressure sores. And so, but it can start with as low as, you not turning them in a matter of a couple hours. So, but if they get to the point where it's an actual sore, you've done it over and over and over and left them.
Right, so how long would somebody have to lay there before they had an actual sore?
Well, without being moved, it would be, I would say, probably, but if you left somebody just laying and not move them within a 24-hour period, I would assume there would be a sore there. Oh, nope. Neil says 5+ days it would take to actually make a sore. I don't think so.
Well, see,
If they're
that's where
super
I would
skinny-
argue that, because I mean, I can remember back in, being young and, going on benders and sleeping for 24 hours.
Yes,
you know
but,
what I mean? I didn't
but
wake up
you
with
were
no sores.
young. We're
Right.
talking
No,
about
I know,
old
I'm
people.
joking. But
No, but
Yeah, I
I'm
would think
sure
it would
if
have to do with your current status, of
Thank
age,
you.
health,
Yes,
immune
circulation.
system. So yeah,
I mean,
like
you're talking about old people that
probably
have
different for
super
everybody.
thin skin. Yeah. And when you're talking about people that have super thin skin, it takes no time at all to create a skin sore. And pretty soon, I mean, it gets bad.
So yeah, Nils says without turning, like 5 days, they would positively have sores. So that means that like a lot of the people to get those would be like those people just haven't moved. And they've just left them going in there, beep, beep,
But
beep,
see,
walked in and changed the catheter and walked out. I mean,
well, but you're talking about when he says 5 days, that would be for somebody like, say, you or LW or me or Niels. But if you're talking about an old person, 75, 80 years old, and they've got, issues already, thin skin, no muscle tone, no fat.
well, if we want to talk about thin skin, that's like 90% of people on YouTube.
Right. They're going to get a sore. It will not take 5 days. I'm telling you right now, it will not take no time at all. And they get really bad and they get super sore. It's awful to watch. Yeah. So it kind of sucks. But, what do you do?
Turn them over.
Right.
Yeah. Your job.
Yeah.
Right, your job. Good point, LW. Your job.
That would be good. I don't even know how we got on that subject. How did we get on that subject?
MRSA.
Yep. Yeah, see, elderly non-ambulatory patients are more susceptible to develop sores if they aren't turned every 4 to 12 hours. Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. It'll be rampant with bed sores and thin skin crybabies, right? We'll do a live stream on, YouTube bed sores.
Yeah.
So LW, what have you been doing?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. I mean, I've been doing stuff, but nothing to write home about. Nothing that's going to captivate your audience.
Just been living, right?
Right.
Hey, he's like, well, I had to stop by the dollar store earlier.
Right.
I ran into old Fred that I went to high school with, and the thing, Fred was a pretty cool. Oh my God.
Stepped in dog shit when I come out of the store.
You do love those people you run into that you haven't seen in forever, and you run into, or people you don't even hardly know, and you walk up, how you doing? And they're like, well, my dog died recently. I'm having this problem. You're like, holy fucking shit. I just, the answer.
Right, why'd I ask?
Okay, good. How about you? Yeah. Okay, good. See ya.
Have you ever done it to like, you just be polite at a retail store or mechanic shop, wherever you're at, and you just, somebody behind the counter, somebody working there, like, hey, so how's your day going, man? Or lady or whatever. And then they just unload on you. You're like, oh, wow.
Oh, why'd I ask? Right? It's like,
Well, I'd almost a stranger rather tell me than somebody I don't give a fuck about that I know. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
At least
Right.
a stranger, you might end up hearing something cool and be like, well, that's kind of fascinating. Go on.
And if you actually gotta go, then you don't feel necessarily as bad. You ain't never gonna see him again. So it's like, oh, hey, right on. I'm really sorry to hear that. I really got to get going. You have a good day.
And I don't mean to be shitty about it, because sometimes people just need somebody to talk to or whatever, but
yeah,
they're trying to be nice and everything, but it's just awkward for you. You don't know what to say to a complete stranger.
Yeah. Yep. I always tell my kids, you don't have to talk to like old people when it comes to old people, because boy, if you ask them something, You might be there all day. They might ask you to wash their car and, you know, go open the jar of pickles that they've trying to open for a week. And you never know. And make you eat the cookies that they made. Don't eat them. Just saying. And so I always tell them, but you have to help. Regardless if you talk to them or not, you always have to help. And my kids are really good about helping old people. Of course, they spent 25 years hanging out in the old folks' home. So
are you saying that they? Never mind. I won't be an asshole yet.
you just got to drink more. That's all. You're good there.
You got to catch up to Gigi.
Right, I know.
Dude, I ain't even drunk. Hey,
Use a damn lie.
I'm not. What's up, Phil? Good to see you. Did I miss anybody? And Niels, glad to see you. Yeah, Marv, he was feeling pretty special when he got his box and nuts in the mail from Mishka.
What did he get?
The sign. He got nuts, like all these, like walnuts and hazelnuts and macadamia nuts and cashews and almonds and you name it. If it was a nut, it was in that box.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous. I got a big jar of peanuts sitting there next to me, but that's it.
Yeah, these were really good. And I love walnuts, but it pisses me off.
Jokes are
Only
right.
I just had the tube pop right in there. I'll wait on that. I'll wait on that till later.
Too late. You might as well just go with it.
Moving on.
Ew, why? Why? Now you know what that's going to do.
Well, it's never as good after the fact. You got to hit those zingers right when they pop
That's what
up.
she
That's what
said.
makes it funny.
It's never as good after the fact.
You got to think about it later. Just not as good. It's not as funny. Kind of the same thing.
Exactly. It's the auction place they always went to. I watched y'all are talking about something else. I can tell. My fans
geez.
gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah, me too. So LW, what do you think of do you watch Trump's thing Gutters was playing?
No.
Yeah, I didn't catch it all either, so I feel bad.
I'm sure you do. Terribly. Yeah, like I said, it's a little hard to summarize because he really talked about his whole plan of everything, not just of Canada. So it's, he went a little squirrel.
Well, I did hear him say there was he had a huge announcement coming up in the next 2 to 3 days.
Yes.
So that's interesting. What that would
Yes.
be. Probably
I
be
guess-
like a new coin, meme coin or something.
We're buying the loser of the Pakistan Indian war.
Right. That would be good.
Right. Let's hope not.
I don't know. I'm kind of burned out on national politics. I've been getting more back into local Texas politics.
Well, what's been going on with your local Texas politics?
People are retarded.
I know what we can talk about. It's really even not about political shit.
What?
So here's the scenario. There's a guy on a motorcycle. He's going down the freeway. He comes up beside a little SUV and he flips this dude off. And he did it a few times, I'm assuming he flipped him off. He's got something in his hand. I'm assuming it's his finger. The guy in the SUV basically slams into the motorcycle and slides him off to the side of the road and then takes off. He doesn't stop. Of course, he's caught today and is arrested for felony, like 2nd-degree friggin' manslaughter or something.
Well,
And
what was the
so-
injuries? That's
The guy was fine. I mean, he had a concussion. He was good though. I mean,
I
he
think I
was
saw
home.
that video. You're not allowed to try to murder somebody because they flipped you off. I'm pretty sure.
No, you're not. You're not. But here's the deal. This is my point to all this, and I totally get it. I mean, the guy, you don't get to do that shit at all. But if it's me talking to, say, my kids or myself, I ain't getting on a bike and then getting out there next to a car and think I'm going to take him on by flipping him off. Because if he does, especially this day and age, you got too many crazy assholes out there. And I don't know, but being dead right just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, fucking let them, whatever. If they cut you off, that sucks. I'm sure it did scare the shit out of you, but going up beside him and flipping him off, I mean, you are really putting yourself at risk. I don't understand. There's too many crazy people out there. I don't understand why you do that. Not that what the guy did was justifiable, because in no way was it. And I hope they throw the book at the dumb fucker. But, dude, why would you risk your life like that? Why would you go up beside a car on a motorbike and flip them off?
Well, let me ask a question. So, what happened that led up to this situation?
Don't know.
Does something happen?
Don't know.
I've known people, been around people, been involved in that world of motorcycles, and I don't know any that give a damn or pay any attention that would randomly just pull up next to somebody in an SUV and go, normally people on motorcycles they don't give a fuck what's going on. They're riding, having fun, and they're just, they're doing their own thing. So I guarantee that person was, either on their phone. And if you've been around people, in that, kind of life, they all have people that have died from some asshole being on their phone, or they all have some things that, the person cut them off, didn't look twice, and now he's coming back up. You son of a bitch, ran me off the road, or pay attention, flick you off, but that doesn't give you the right to, be like run the guy off the road. At the same time, anybody with any sense on a motorcycle knows that you don't do anything until you get in front of it and you throw that bolt that you have hooked onto your hooked on somewhere onto your seat or onto your side. You chuck that to the windshield. Yeah, you don't do anything while you're behind them or next to them.
Okay, I'm gonna send this.
There's got to be something that happened before that.
Who cares? Too bad they both didn't die.
Kind of like watching what's his name on what the hell is his name? Jim. I mean, was that bad? And in my mind, I'm like telling that story, and I'm like, I was just kind of waiting for him to do it, like might as well like my stream. I'll watch.
Yeah. Arrest everybody on that stream, to be honest.
Yeah. Bunch of weirdos. So, I heard this thing about Alabama football. No, I'm joking, Gutters.
Let me tell you what happened in the Astros game today, sir.
Right, I'm actually kind of curious, but
Of course you are. Okay. I'm sending it, right?
What are you sending? What are you
Emailed
doing?
it to you.
We got to watch this fucking
No,
motorcycle.
I
get hit.
want you to, yes.
What do you want me to bring it up or something?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Let me see. Still no email. There we go. All right, what the hell is this?
Oh my gosh, he's very, very impatient, isn't he? Still no email. Oh, there you go.
Hang on.
Hello, Lace.
Hang on.
Okay.
Stop. I hate when you like go to something, it starts playing, then you're stuck listening to it. You're
I
trying to
know
figure out how to, it's like, God almighty. All right. So now I can concentrate. Let me pull this up. And over here. There you go. You ready? Yep.
Yep.
511 with a Clark County motorcyclist who survived what appears to be a case of extreme road rage, with a driver caught on camera literally running him off the road. Alma McCarty talked to the motorcyclist's family tonight. Alma, considering the video, it's not a stretch to call it a miracle that he's alive and already out of the hospital.
David, that's really the only way to describe it. Corey, the 21-year-old motorcyclist who has been riding since he was 16, has a concussion, scrapes, and bruises, but no broken bones or other serious injuries. A warning, we have paused the video right before he's hit, though some—
Oh my God, you paused it.
find these images disturbing.
I think it's really hard to watch just because it's so deliberate.
They're not going to show it.
Was recorded by a dash cam. My brother was trying to be like, well, like, do you not see me? What is happening? And then the driver made eye contact with him and jerked the wheel.
What investigators say.
All right, who called who the N-word?
Flight Monday morning after 6 on westbound 26 in Beaverton knocked the rider, Corey, and his motorcycle to the ground and clear across 2 lanes of traffic and onto the shoulder. Video shows the blue Kia Carnival speeding off while other motorists stop to help.
I don't care what happened prior to it. It doesn't give anybody that right. And motorcycles on the road are just like cars. They have license, they have rules to follow. But who in the right mind? That guy has issues, and I'm sorry he has issues, but who in the right mind would do something like that? Just, I don't understand.
Corey's mother, Patsy, and sister, Brittany, who asked to share only their first names, since as far as they know, the suspect is still out there, say what viewers didn't see. Not just one near miss, but 2.
The Kia cut him off and slammed on its brakes, and then my
Notice
brother
they
went
blur
around
his
him, and the
fingers.
Kia went over and almost hit him again.
Somehow, Corey, who was wearing a helmet, his sister says, walked out of the hospital hours later with a concussion, but no broken bones.
He's bruised and banged up pretty bad, but otherwise he's okay.
Beaverton police describing the suspect as a white man around 30 to 40 years old with a black beard.
I would just say, if you know who did this, do the right thing. Do the right thing, because you would hate to be on the other side of this.
Investigators want anyone with information or witnesses to this crash to contact them. Again, this was right around 6:15 this morning on westbound Highway 26 between Highway 217 and Cedar Hills Boulevard. David, back to you.
Let's hope they get this guy off the road. Thanks, Alma.
Sorry, but I gotta say that, like, watching it, I mean, especially when you see him like flip him off twice, and then he slams into him, and he's like, "Ow, ow, I'm hurt, ow, ow, ow." I mean, I'm glad he's okay, and I wouldn't be making the same ha-ha about it normally, but dude, I don't understand why you would take that risk if you're on a bike. I just don't get it.
I don't know why he would swerve to murder somebody on a bike.
No, I don't either.
Go ahead and pull that down, Gutters.
I mean, yeah. I don't understand it either. But I don't understand why, at this day and age, why you would take that risk. There's too many crazies out there. I mean, all you got to do is look at them wrong, and they'll take your ass out.
Yeah, and like I said, something led up to it. Sorry, I'll
Pete, can you come up here and give her the answer? Because I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. But a lot led up to that. That wasn't just that incident. It like it's still, the woman even says it in the like, I don't care what led up to this moment. Who in their right mind would do that? So she's already saying there's more to the story. She said it right there. I don't care what led up to this moment, but who in their right mind? And I agree with her. I know, you shouldn't just run. I mean, if the guy had pulled a gun out, like, who knows? Maybe he did right before or something, or held it. You know what I mean? And they're like, fuck this guy coming up again, run him off the road. We don't know the whole story.
I totally get that. But the way she does say that, it does totally make you think that it's a kind of a fuck around and find out type of thing. Like, he fucked with this guy, and then finally, I mean, because she doesn't want, she came right out and said, doesn't matter what happened beforehand. Well, what did happen beforehand, Missy?
Right. And if she's going to say that, well, I don't care what happened and what led up to this, I think is what she said. I don't care what, happened and led up to this. So something happened and it led up to this. Now, if that guy was threatening, I mean, was he threatening their lives or something? I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I mean, if somebody come up to me and they started, telling me they were going to kill me and blah, blah, screaming at me and they were yelling at me and then they come right up next to my window, I'd like, all right, you fucked around and found out, dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the video of what happened to the motorcycle guy when he got hit. He's very lucky. It's a very perfect hit to the bike and him to land perfectly. And they kind of just turn over to the right and then just slide right off the road.
Right.
Like
Well, they
he
slide
didn't.
up to the exit. There's an exit there, and he kind of lucked out instead of a cement barricade.
Well, he
being
lucked
there,
out
it
by
was an
not
exit that he slid.
of sliding and not getting run over by the 18-wheeler that was recording him.
Right.
But he also could have fell a different way and caused 2 or 3 other cars to have a wreck. And so the car's in the wrong no matter what that bike guy did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely got a lot on him, but it's still, I think it does go back to, there might be a little bit of responsibility on the biker. And here in Oregon, they do have that whole thing of, well, it doesn't solely fall on one guy. Like, it used to be, well, if you don't have insurance on your rig and you take your rig out and you get in an accident, it's all your fault because you weren't supposed to have your rig on the highway. That used to be the way it is. It ain't that way no more. Now, there's it could be partially your fault and partially their fault, and so on and so forth. So
yeah, everybody got lucky on that one because the driver could easily be charged with like 5 different murders for causing it.
Yeah.
And the motorcycle guy could be dead.
Yeah.
So somebody was looking out for a lot of people on that road today.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely about that. Very lucky. Very lucky that the worst that happened was his shoes got tore up. But I do want to hear, make a point to pay attention to the story, Gutters, because you're out there, so you're going to hear the news better. I want to hear the whole story on this, even if it's 6 months from now. I want to hear what led up to this because, like I said, if he'd have, the only exception where I could say, all right, the guy in the car's right, is if this guy did threaten their lives somehow. And trust me, I would much sooner stick up for the guy on the motorcycle than the guy in the Kia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to see. I mean, if he was threatening their life, like LW, if you had your kid in the back seat and some asshole was coming up to you threatening your life, and then he gets right up at your window, you'd probably do the same thing. You know what I mean? I mean, I would.
Yep.
Well, no, I wouldn't hit a motorcycle with my kid in the car, but
well, what if the person on the, had a gun or something like that?
Right. He was trying to shoot at you.
1 minute, 30 seconds before this happened, and then they'd come up right next to you again, and you had your kid in the car, you'd probably be like, oh shit, this son of a bitch,
Yeah, I mean, he's going first for sure.
Right. So that's all I'm saying is I want to hear the whole story. I want to hear what led up.
Yep.
And I'd kind of like to watch. I'm not into court cases, but I'd kind of like to at least hear the highlights of it after in 2 years when they go to court.
Right. Exactly.
I just don't see how something like that can do either. I mean, obviously, his mom and sister or whoever the other lady was, but they have family member. The person in the car. Do they have children at home or a wife and?
Well, I seen the guy that was arrested.
God dang, man, you can't fucking keep your head together for 5 minutes and just ignore somebody cutting you off or whatever, and not turn it into World War III on the road.
They arrested the guy that supposedly hit him, and what the cop had said that was interviewed by, I think it was KGW. The cop said, well, we heard that this guy had been causing problems prior to this too. The guy in the Kia, that he had been causing other driving issues days before. So they're already on, right now they're already on this guy. They're not gonna they're going it. Even the cops, you could already tell which way they were leaning, which is kind of annoying to me. Just fucking, why can't you just stay neutral like you're supposed to, Mr.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Government?
99%, saying the guy in the key is wrong.
Oh,
But
me
I
too.
do leave that 1% open for, let me hear the whole story before I like sell my soul to it, before I die on that hill or anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I would just try to. The motorcycle, Kia is if the Kia is the person at fault, the motorcycle guy still got to just let it go. Let the guy go. Let the guy go. You got to get over the right lane. Wait till the Kia gets far away, and then go about your life.
Well, that's kind of the way I see it. I mean, if you're on a motorcycle, well, I just would not risk it. I'm sorry. I just ain't going to do it. Like when I had my great big Econoline 150 Econoline van, hell yeah, man, I'd take on most cars. I'm like, get the fuck out of my way. Yes, I'm on your side. Get out of my way. But I couldn't do that with my other little cars. It's all where are you in the food chain?
It's a lovely. I love like driving my work, like the E350 work van. Same basic thing you're talking. Just just bigger. Yeah, the E350. Pulling up like at a 4-way stop and stuff like that. Oh, fuck that. Ain't nobody taking my turn. I'll make sure everybody else goes in their turn, but try to go out there in front of me. It's my turn. And you're going to stop because I guarantee whatever you're driving, unless it's a damn another van that size or a tow truck, that you're going to get the damage, not me. And I'm not going to stop. I do it all the time, but I wait till it's my turn. That's a pet peeve of mine. Do not take my turn at a 4-way stop. I will let 3 cars in front of me go, but when it's that 4 turn, that's me.
Oh, there's so many people on the road who don't understand the 4-way stop, dude.
Oh my gosh. Or roundabouts. I'm telling you what, if you want to see a retard, put them in a roundabout. You'll know immediately whether they're retarded or not. All you got to do is just give them one of the entrances into the roundabout. They are completely clueless. It drives me insane. It's like, why are you stop? There's no fucking stop sign. Go. I don't get it.
Yeah, like about 10 days ago, I went out, took my 2 kids to go eat dinner with my mom and stepdad. And on the way back, it's about 35 miles away, but it's a straight freeway shot, And, everybody's going 80, 90 miles an hour. So on the way back, we get on the freeway and somebody gets around and passes us and gets in front of us, and they're weaving all over the road. And it was a Friday night. So I was like, well, they're probably drunk. And my son, he's in the front seat, and he's like, oh no, they're not even looking. They're looking at their phone. And then I look and I see their phone. They're weaving in and out and stuff like that. Just craziness. And I attempt to pass him, and then he's looking at his phone, and he goes right into the left lane. So I can't pass him. So I'm like, man, I got kids in the car. I made the first exit after that and just went to the red light on the feeder road, let that guy go up farther, and just, did a couple lights on the feeder to get back on the freeway so he was far enough ahead. It's just, you just can't fuck with that. These crazy nuts on the road, man.
Yep. Especially when you got your kids in the car. Or you have no protection. If you're on a bike, you have nothing to protect you.
I remember there was a time I was going down, it was an interstate going towards, going to a more congested area where you're going to hit a stoplight. Yeah. You know what I mean? So 4-lane road, 2 lanes going each way. And, I'm cruising along, I'm hauling ass. And I was running late. So I'm in the passing lane running about 85, I'm 90. And I see like way behind me, this ambulance coming with its lights on. And I'm like, and I'm in the middle of passing this long line of cars, and I'm passing them, watching my rear view, and I'm it's not gaining on me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm cruising. I'm cruising. So we come up and I see there's a, the lights, I'm coming up to an intersection light, like way up there. First one. And so I'm coming up and I'm passing the last car, and boom. And I see it turn yellow. So I got over to the right, of course, got the hell out of the way. About 20 seconds later, here comes the ambulance, boom, boom, goes through. Well, then this son of a bitch pulls up next to me and gets out of his damn car and starts, yelling and screaming. And I say next to me, but he's like behind the car. It's back here. And he's, gets out of his car, starts screaming at our truck and starts screaming at me. And I'm sitting in my car. He starts screaming and I'm just like, fuck you, buddy. He's like, you're supposed to get out of the way. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm out of the way. You know what I mean? Like the ambulance went by me. I didn't cause the ambulance any trouble. And he gets out. Some bitch grabs a bat out of his truck and starts shaking it and starts to walk around the front of his truck coming at me with a bat. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to finish the rest of that story on YouTube, huh?
Yeah, probably not.
He got back in his truck.
Yeah. I figured, because I know what you told me you carry in the or I mean,
I stood in front of I don't care to tell the story.
Edited.
Oh, I got out because I already had it out sitting on the seat ready for, when somebody starts yelling at you. It's not like it's out of my hands reach. I stood right up in front of a whole traffic, and the cops actually contacted me later that day.
You just wave it and be like, how do you like my bat? How do you like my bat?
No, I stood out in front of my car and pinpointed his forehead for him, and he got back in his truck. And somebody called the police. I don't know who, but
I'm really conscious about, like, when I pull up to the car in front of me, I always try to leave enough room, and I think about, like, who's beside me on each side so that I can kind of always have an out. So I'm always thinking about that every light that we stop at. And Marvin will get right up behind them. And it's like, and he's usually like way cautious about shit, but for some reason when we're at lights he'll get right up on their ass. I'm just like, dude, back off. If there was, like, I've seen way too many of those carjacking videos where they get in front of them and behind them and there's no way for you to get out because you are parked, you're right up next to them, so you can't even move your rig to get out of there. So it's like, I like to have that. I just want another out all the time.
Yeah, or you see those videos of people coming to stops at things like that, and then you see the video to where everybody's bumper to bumper. I'm the same way. I always leave a tiny bit, enough to where I can go left or right if I need to. You see the ones with a tractor trailer doesn't realize the cars are stopped, and everybody just sits there and looks in the rear views going, oh my God, and it'll just plow through all those vehicles.
Now, another thing that I take into effect of, where's that Tesla? Oh, he's right there beside me. Well, I'm just going to stop back here just a little ways. Just in case he starts on fire, I don't want to have no part of that shit.
Yeah. I live in a county with 5 million people, and we have people from all over the world here. I think we have the most people from different countries here. But none of these people know how to drive in America, and it's terrifying sometimes. I always tell this story of driving on the freeway down south towards the football stadium for a sales meeting, and I'm driving 80 miles an hour, and this is back when I had my Dodge truck, and this car is swerving over in the different lanes, and I get past him. Now, it's hard for me to keep up with this guy at 80. So he's going, I had to speed up to get to it. I pulled beside him. I looked down in his little Toyota Corolla, and he, with both hands, he's eating a cup of noodles and going 80, steering the steering wheel with his knees. It was insane. Imagine dying because somebody was eating noodles on a freeway.
Right.
Was he using chopsticks to eat the noodles?
No, he was using a fork.
Oh, man.
One of those fucking sport thingies or whatever.
When I was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old, my mom used to work this restaurant, and the owners of the restaurant had this teenage girl she was quite the blonde bomber, let me tell you. And she drove this really cool Trans Am, and she had like the hairdo, you know, where it all feathered back, like perfect. It was super long, blonde, feathered hair. And she always had one of those long the big combs that you could run it through your hair and it'd feather it back perfect. She always had one of those, and she would drive that Trans Am with her knee while she drove down the river road that we lived on. I'm telling you what, my mom used to let me get in that car with that woman. That girl, let me tell you what, you want to talk about scary as shit. I still can't. And she would go around corners with her knee steering us all the way around the corners while she combed her hair and made sure that her lips were on and she was perfect before we hit town. It's like, you crazy bitch.
It was like every woman in the 80s.
I loved being with her, though. Her name was Bobby, and she was so much fun. I loved it. And, you know, I just looked at her because I was quite a bit younger. So I just looked at her. I was like, oh, my God, you're the greatest girl.
They're all driving 90, doing their hairspray in the mirror.
Yes, in the T-tops. She had T-tops.
That's what I was about to ask. She'd have to wait till she came to like a stoplight, and then she could spray her Aquanet and then speed back up to air the car out the T-tops.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me say, P Digits comment on Large Marge plowing through cars. Exactly, P Digits. Exactly. I couldn't let that one float away. It was a night just like tonight. Large Marge. That was the coolest thing. Tim Burton. He's awesome. Tim Burton.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Gutters is kind of like your glamour shots that you showed us, you know, with the Aquanet going on.
Yes. And her hair was like perfectly feathered, like it had these from her, I mean, like long feathered hair in the front, you know, and she was always perfect. Like everything about her was perfect. And she had everything. She had her car. She had the world by the balls. Her parents gave her everything. She was spoilt rotten. Her brother, he had to work his ass off for everything, but Bobby didn't. She had it all handed to her.
Oh, well, we all knew those people.
Yeah. And you know, as a younger girl, I just idolized her, man. It was like, oh my God, you're so awesome.
That's pretty funny. I was
Yeah,
looking
super
at
fun. I love them childhood memories.
Yeah, riding with those crazy people. I remember we used to have this like carpool system when I was real young. And, you know, like this day, my mom would drive, you know, pick up those other two kids. We'd all be and then it was like the other day that parent would pick, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I remember we used to ride with this woman, and, you know, I forget what kind of car. It had to have been like some kind of, oh my God, it was a hatchback, but I'm trying to remember what it was. I was young, but it was one of those, you know, piece of shit 1977 hatchbacks or something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That line of vehicle, tiny. And it would be her, and she would it was like 6 of us kids in this car. Yeah. Take us to school. And it always stunk. Like you would be in the back seat, and she was smoking, of course, you know. Yeah. And in the back, but it would always get the exhaust would come back through the back seat. We'd be sitting having little sack lunches in the morning, you know, riding to school. I remember it was like a tannish brown color, this horrible looking 80s or 70s hatchback. And oh my God, she would pile us all out. You know, it was fun.
We when I was in Head Start, ours was both years that I went to Head Start, because I got to go when I was 3, and then I got to go when I was 4. And when we had to drive 7 miles from my hometown to where Head Start was, and mind you, we lived on the reservation, so Head Start was in what they called the YS building, which was the Indians. It was, I mean,
well, I forgot. I always forget that you grew up in
Indians ran it all, you know, they well, yeah, no, just on a reservation. But we, us kids that were from my town, would have to get in it was one of those panel station wagons. And the window rolled down, the back of the window rolled down. And I
Yeah.
can remember always riding in the back, and we would ride all of us kids. None of us wanted to ride up in the seats. We all rode in the far back and loved it. We thought it was the greatest thing ever that we got to ride in the back of that station wagon. To us, that was like our school bus for 2 years. And we loved it. And I remember we did it, okay, and we did 5 days a week. Back then, you went to Head Start 5 days a week. Like for half the day.
Those old station wagons. As a kid, those old station wagons looking out the back, that was so much fun. You'd be going by waving at people. I remember we would ride from Miami up to like Pennsylvania and in the back of those things and go back and oh my God. I mean, that's a long trip right there to be bouncing around in the back of hotter than hell, in the summer. Oh my God.
Yeah, so much fun. So much fun. I remember
like
all
riding
the
in
rigs,
the back of trucks.
all the rigs. I remember, like if it was a pickup and we were riding in it, 9 times out of 10, if you didn't have shoes on, your feet were getting hot as hell from the floorboard. Don't know why, but I just remember all the pickups we rode in. Those floorboards would get hot as hell. Hey, Baker, what's up? Was it like Griswold's wagon? Yes. Green with the wood paneling. It was.
The family cruiser.
Yep.
Yeah, that and another thing that's kind of gone out the window, is like riding in the back of trucks. I mean, remember everybody used to ride in the back of pickup trucks. What's up, Baker?
Yep. Yeah.
Everybody. Hell, I remember one time, and it was like during winter, we had a little truck and then had a another car, two family. My dad would drive the little truck to work and back. My mom would tote us around in the car. And the car had broke down and was going to be at the shop, and we had somewhere we had to be, like blah blah blah. I remember leaving out. It was like my brother and I and our dog in the back of the truck, and my mom and dad, but the baby in the car seat in the middle of the the seat driving the truck. And I remember we were headed up. It was about a 2-hour drive, and about halfway, it was like the temperature kept getting colder. By the time we got we had another 40 minutes left in our trip, and it was fucking pouring down snow. The roads were up. It was like 28 degrees. Me and my brother and a dog are like curled up in a ball in the back of the truck with some luggage.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the 80s.
Yep. Best shit ever.
They put you in jail for that now.
Yep. That's why no kids have character or anything these days. It's like, damn. That's why my son's always like, I'll be like, no, Sean, I want him to have a helmet on and I want him to have this. And he's like, Mom, he's going to build no character. He's going to have no clue because you've got him in a fucking bubble. Stop. Like,
a helmet. Everything has to be. Half these kids you go out now, it looks like they got saran wrap on. They're riding a bike with training wheels and they're 12.
I know. Sean goes, you know what? It's not going to hurt him that bad, Mom. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, well, we ain't going to know if you don't let him find out. So back the hell off. I'm like, all right, fine. I know you're right.
But everybody acts like that too. And you see people get kids and they're like, oh my God. But it's kind of, you got to have a little bit of the, like, especially with boys. I understand with girls a little bit. Yeah, it's a little different. Yep. But like, especially with boys, it's kind of like, look, suck it up, cuts heal and chicks dig scars. Yep. Yeah, boys, go on.
Boys are kids boys are the type that you have to let them run until they're exhausted every day. That's what they're supposed to do. Just let them do it. If you don't let them do it, you're stifling what they need to be. That's how they grow. That's how they learn. That's how they mature. That's all the things and when you don't let them do that, when you sit them in a chair and just say, here, you got to sit here for 8 hours a day. Hello. You're stifling it. It's not what it's made to do.
I agree with most of that, but I would have to say, y'all were talking about riding in the back of the trucks. My grandpa had a cargo van. It was only the 2 seats up front. Everything was stripped in the back, no carpet, anything. It was just a cargo van. And there was like 5 of us. So obviously we couldn't fit the 2 front seats. So we driving around freeways, just sitting Indian style with no seat, no seatbelt, just popping around back there like popcorn popping.
Yeah.
I would never do that with my kids ever, you know.
Dude, it's well, yeah, we did that all the time too in the vans. You just right. Well, we used to be back there like playing and shit and rolling around and had games, you know, like board games going. And you get pissed off because your little pieces got moved around and shit.
You know what? You fly up like 3 feet in the air.
Yeah. So LW, you'll appreciate this. So we used to like we've taken many road trips in cargo vans. Like we've got bunches of them. Always been around cargo vans. And they're great. You know, like I've got my favorite one now. It's, you know, it's got no windows, no nothing, you know, and that's the way you like it. Nobody can see it. But we would we'd be going on a road trip, you know, and you got to take all the shit. And there's like, say 5 people going, you know, and 1 driver, 4 passengers. Well, you got cargo vans. So we would go and we'd go get like thrift stores and go get love seats from the thrift store. Then you ratchet strap them down because there's always the, you know, and the ones that I'm used to, you know, the hook or, you know, the hooks for motorcycles. So you mount motorcycles inside them. So you'd already have those ones built, you know, through into the bottom. Mm-hmm. And so you'd ratchet strap hook to those, put them in ratchet strap love seats and go on these trips, you know, and we would get coffee tables sometimes and shit like that, put them in there where you had coffee table and a love seat. Well, then when you get back, you know, what's that, $15, $10-15, you do that. Then when you get back, you just go and donate it back to the thrift store and drop it back off. And it's perfect. Now you can got all your shit in the cargo van. But sometimes you get the one with like the wore out horrible springs and you'd be like bounce all the way, you know, to fucking Panama City or back or something. It's like,
makes me think of Cheech and Chong. Just he's saying all that shit. Just, you know, it's the luck of the draw. What are you gonna get?
Rednecks and ratchet straps. You can make anything work.
That's right.
100%.
Duct tape.
Yeah, that's some duct tape as well. You know.
Hey, Regan.
That's fun times though.
Oh man. Super fun times. I've been watching those videos on YouTube and it's like back in the 60s and it like depending on what it is, like what they had for dinner back in the 60s or, you know, the number one, you know, fashion or what they were, you know, whatever it is. And they go by different years, whether it's the 70s, 60s, 80s. It's pretty cool. Riding the stores, shopping carts down steep hills usually ended in disaster. Oh, hell yeah. I had bicycles that your cousin decided that he would put the fishing pole the lengthways. So when you go to pass him, you clip his fishing pole and you all wreck with ducks in the box in the back of one of the bikes.
I worked a couple warehouse jobs back when I was young. Man, we used to have fun with those pallet jacks. You ride them like fucking skateboards, hold on to the handle. We'd crash into each other, have races.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody spraying their ankle.
Oh, yeah.
You're making the ramps and all this stuff you do. If somebody's, you know, family member had just finished doing a project and there was like a little piece of plywood lying around, oh yeah, they're dragging stuff and doing jumps.
Yeah, and then as you get older and you go to like, you know, parties at somebody's house, you take laundry baskets and ride down their staircase with the laundry baskets and oh gosh, the drunker you got, pretty soon you just fuck the laundry basket. You grab like a bedspread and sit on it between your legs and ride down the staircase with it. Oh, super.
People had to do that back then because there was no YouTube to log into and yell at people.
That's right. That's right. Those are good times, dude. I mean, we broke a lot of fucking bones, don't get me wrong, but damn, it was fun.
Have you looked at the things to where it just shows you how much older people used to look at the same ages as opposed to what they look now?
Dude, I was picking up my son from wrestling practice And I was looking, and I noticed it because I saw something the other day about that. Like 17-year-old dudes in like 1975 looked like Tom Selleck when he was like 40.
Right.
Mhm.
Let me try to bring this up. I can't. I guess it'll kind of look good. Let's see. Can you
My
share that
mom, my mom
share that up there,
compared to
Gutter.
me and my mom, I mean, she looked like she was, 70.
Yeah.
So, like, look at this. This is the cast of the Mary Tyler Moore. Okay. So, front row, the guy on the far left is 30, middle's, or no, 39. The girl's 33, and this guy over here is 46. Okay.
Yeah.
Back row, she's 30, he's 40, and she's 44. This guy was 32.
Yeah.
That's not.
Look at that. Somebody makes a joke. Soccer players in the 70s looked, super 1974 World Cup, blah, blah, blah. He was 24. I mean, it goes on and on. Cheers. 33 and 34 years old.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. When I watched that show as a kid, I thought they were like fucking 55.
So did I.
Look, this is them at like the same, like them at the same age as each other. I mean, granted, he's probably had some work that Wilford Brimley got the diabetes, but
yeah, I saw one. I
Right.
saw one the other day. Bear Bryant, the Alabama coach, he died at 62, and they had a picture of Nick Saban at 62. He's like 75 now, but I mean, he looks younger than Bear Bryant now at 75. Bear Bryant, when he was 62, he looked like he was 85.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I saw that too. I did see that one. Here's Tim Waltz is younger than Brad Pitt, which, Brad Pitt wasn't over there pretending to fight in foreign wars either. So that takes a lot off of you. Yeah, I don't see any more on there. Yeah, this
That's
creepy
crazy,
guy. And here, this is Ringo Starr. Hell, he's 84.
Right.
Damn it. This fucking mouse keeps jumping around. Yeah, there you go. All right, you can pull that down. But that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. It is. Oh, where are you guys? Where are we? Hell, where'd we go?
Yep. All right, I'm taking over this show now. It is
Where'd it go?
just me.
No, I swear. I want us all there. Oh, look.
Now we're all the records.
Grew up a lot harder than people now, though, too.
Yeah, I don't quite understand the logic in it, but it is weird. It is to look at some of these people, like you said. Yeah, they look like they were, 80, and it's like, what? They were 40? What the hell, Bear Bryant?
Well, some of them. I mean, how old is Tim Walz? How old did you say?
Oh, I didn't say. It didn't say the age. It was just saying that. I mean, you can obviously understand Brad Pitt's had some plastic surgery that Tim Waltz hasn't. So, yeah, hair. Yeah,
probably.
Hair treatments, hair. Yeah, you know what I mean. His hair's dyed. His hair, million factors for that one. But it's like the Golden Girls. I was looking at something. Weren't they like 48 or 49 or Blanche or somebody was like. It's just like, and in your mind as a kid, you're going, wow, they're 70. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, what? They were in their late 40s.
Yeah, fucking. We must be on the same fucking algorithm because I saw that the other day too. One of them was Archie Bunker, Edith, and like they were super young.
Mm-hmm.
They were super young.
In their 30s.
Yeah, it was like 38 and 42.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's crazy.
It's hard to imagine, but
especially think about how old they both look. I mean, I remember though, my mom, a lot of it was a way like my mom did her hair. Like she'd take curlers and put curlers in it and she'd comb it down. And it was like, and I remember when I finally was like, okay, mama, you got to get out of this. we're gonna spiff you up here. And so at that point, I was a teenager. So we got her a cute haircut, and she was looking all fabulous. She gave up the curlers, and she loved it. It was like,
Well, okay, here was the other one I saw. Did you know Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies was only 49?
That's nuts.
No, I'm totally kidding about that one, but I got you.
I wonder how old she was.
I have no idea. Totally pulled that one out my ass there. Gunter. Are you looking it up?
I am.
All right.
I think it had to do with how they grew up when they were kids. Like even like today, right? Yeah, there's homeless people, but usually they're addicted to drugs or they've got a mental disorder. But even your poorest person, if you're not homeless, you still get food stamps. There's not a lot of struggle for food. You might not live in the best neighborhood or have a lot of extra money to go on vacation, stuff like that, but you can buy food and pay your electric bill. Back then, when these people grew up in the 20s and 30s, all these people, when they were young and they were struggling, there'd be 3 days where they just didn't eat. We're like, we can't eat till Thursday.
This is trippy.
This is a lot different,
Well, yeah, and it makes sense too. Like you think about that age frame of people, you're all looking at that when they started becoming television celebrities. If it was 1960,
right,
and you were 40, that means you were born in 1920, and the Depression hit.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. If you were, or you were born during the Depression, you were 30. If you were born during the Depression and the show came out in the 60s. If the show came out in the 70s and you were 40, then you were born, basically during the Depression, early 30s. You get the point there.
Right.
I think that does have a lot to do with it.
So I think, a lot of age was put on people when they were young, struggling. And, some of them didn't have air conditioning and plumbing, and they had to go out and forge shit on their own. I mean, it's a completely different lifestyle.
So
they didn't have $500 food stamps. They could go to the grocery store. You know what I mean?
We're like, them dumbasses didn't have to wear helmets when they were under the bicycles.
So Granny Irene Ryan was 70 when she passed away in 1973.
So she was 70 and 73?
Yeah.
Okay, what year did the show come out?
Laddie.
Oh, God. I got it. I'm looking it up. Hang on. The Beverly Hillbillies. So that started in 1962. So what year did she die?
73.
Are you talking about Granny?
Right.
Yeah.
So the latter episodes, then she would have been late 60s in the latter episodes. So the show went from 62 to 71. And you said she was 73
when she died.
when she died.
She
And
was 70. She was 70 in 73 when she died.
right. So the show. So she was only 68 when that show stopped airing. And it aired for almost 10 years. So when she started doing that show, she would have been in her late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
When she was in her early 20s and stuff, believe it or not, Granny was a hottie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you go back and look at pictures of like the family, like the pictures of like a family of 5 parents and 3 kids, and look at all their facial expressions from like 1930. They all look like they just got back from Vietnam. You know what I mean? There wasn't anybody smiling or anything like that.
There you go, Getters. There's something to share. Yeah, that's Granny when she was young. There you go, Duggar. I saw that picture. You said that, so I was like, let me pull it up. Yeah, that's Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies when she was young.
She was a hottie, man.
She was, but even notice how they do their hair. It made him like fucking 50 years older, I swear.
Well, that was back in the 40s or 30s, you know, probably the 40s. That picture's probably from the 40s.
Yeah, I don't know. Pull that down, Gutters.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't trust the internet and things like you pull something down and there's something
Right.
other picture that gets you in trouble or something. I don't know.
Oh.
I hate that.
Ooh.
Irene Ray was her name.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So she was born, in 1902. So yeah, that picture there, Duggar, that in that picture that I just showed you, let's guess what year that is.
20s or 30s.
Yeah, it doesn't say on that picture.
She can't be more than 25, 30 in that picture.
Right, and she was born in 02, so I mean that picture was taken in the late 20. Shit, she might be 12 from what we've looked at.
Yeah.
These people looking older. And that's the thing that gets me about that what's his name, the coach, Belichick. They're like, she's 23, and I look at her and I'm like, I mean, she looks 30 something. So sometimes it doesn't really add up.
Well, she's high in her hoe miles.
So she played in the Little Rascals as a little girl.
Was she in the Little Rascals?
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
She's cute too. She was talking to Spanky. I think she was a little girl that liked Spanky.
I have the whole collection of the original Little Rascals. And you can't, good luck trying to find those anymore, a lot of those old ones. Yeah, to buy or see on TV. I'm sure you can search them out places. Yeah, it's not like good luck. Oh, here it is, of course. But it's going to take a little bit of work to find some of those old ones. They're probably on YouTube, but so right there in front of your face. But to actually buy them and own, you know what I mean? To own those, you can't order like the original Little Rascals anymore. That they've cut producing of them, of a lot of episodes.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I loved Little Rascals.
Mm-hmm. Some of them, they're funny to watch.
Oh my gosh. I got a dollar. I got a dollar. I got a dollar. Hey, 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 hey.
I don't believe you're 39. I think you're 38.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Acting childish.
I know. I'm actually younger than that. Go ahead, say it.
So I think a 38-year-old would know that song.
You don't think a 39-year-old would, though. Got it.
Well, Granny was tough, dude. She was an alcoholic. She loved her some moonshine. Or what was her medicine? What'd she say? It was her heart medicine, or I don't remember what she called it. But they put it in the old truck and it turned into a hot rod.
She didn't call it. What was it? Was it her medicine? Something like that, though. You're right. Yeah.
Rheumatism medicine. That's what it was. Rheumatism medicine.
Remember when they were having fancy dinners they'd eat on the pool table?
Yeah, with the pool stick as a fancy.
Right. Yeah, they'd pass stuff around with the pool stick.
Mm-hmm.
Love that show. You know who? I'm sure you do, Duggar. I'm sure you do. But everybody out there in the chat, and everything, Gutters. You know who Jethro's father was? I know you do, Duggar. I know you do.
Jeez.
You know who Jethro's father was?
I forgot.
No, my ears are bleeding. Go ahead, Mr. Duggar.
No, I ain't gonna tell you now. You made me sad.
Do you know LW? Or I mean, like honestly, this is cool.
No,
this is a cool thing.
No, I don't.
His name is Max Baer Jr. His father was Max Baer, the boxer.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Jethro's Max Baer Jr.
Built just like his dad too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is kind of a cool thing, you know.
Yeah, I love the way
Now,
they throw
They
rocks.
ain't lying.
what's that, Gutters?
You guys aren't lying. I
Well,
thought Jethro
no.
was a good-looking kid.
Oh yeah, he was a handsome man,
Mm-hmm.
and his dad was a fucking hell of a brawler.
He fought Marciano, right?
Who was his fight? I mean, he went like, I mean, there was a lot of staple ones. Wait, let me look that up.
Fought that joyman, or he was the joyman.
Yeah, he beat Max Schmeling.
Yeah, beat the German.
Yeah.
I was just looking at it. He died young, died at 50, and he had 81 total fights.
Marbled his brains up. He lost his marbles up.
That's a lot of fights.
Yeah, he was the big fighter. That's what it was. Oh God, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, he was the one that, you know, the movie about Jim Braddock and all that. That's who Jim Braddock was fighting, you know, was Max Baer. And Max Baer, didn't Max Baer killed a man in the ring and all that? Yeah, like Primo Canara. Yeah. Let's
I'll be
see.
back. I gotta pee.
Okay. Now we can talk about sports. Woohoo!
I mean, I was just looking. Man, that's pretty good, right? 81 fights, 68 wins, 51 by knockout.
Dude, they'd fight over 15 rounds back in too. They'd fight a lot of rounds back in them days.
It was that great line out of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns, he's like, I remember the day when if they didn't go at least 93 rounds, we asked for our nickel back.
Right. Oh, man, that damn Ali Frazier. That was brutal.
All them fights were brutal.
Hey, that was fun talking boxing with Blood the other night.
Oh, I could do that. I could do that any day of the week. If y'all ever do a boxing thing, I'll be there.
He'll do that. I love that guy. He'll come on anytime. He likes us too. You know, like he said, he likes coming over here and hanging out. It's an element than what you know what I mean?
Yeah. Hanging out with some class acts for a change.
Well, no, I mean, he's good. And there's tons of good people over there, but it's only boxing talk is my point. You know what I mean? Like all he ever gets to talk about is boxing. I mean, so I try not to just ask about boxing, but he does, I think, like coming over here and just talking. He's just about the same age as we all are, you know.
He was a good cat. I liked him. Enjoyed him immensely.
Yeah,
I've seen him a couple times. I listened to the show he's been on a couple times. So, yeah, guy's got a kind of a class act, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. I was trying to find a good video here.
We got to figure out how to wait to watch that fight in September. It's Canelo and Crawford.
Yeah, we need to get in touch with our buddy. I miss those watching fights, you know.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let me find. I could probably do this with no sound. There we go. I don't want to get there something that gets her trouble. You back, Gutters, or no?
I'm back.
She had to go open her another box of wine or what?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here.
She had to go out there and check, see if she had mice yet.
I think I'm gonna sneeze, but
it's all that.
Like, you know how it wavers there and doesn't go anywhere. It's like, is it gonna happen?
All right, let's say this for a minute for fun, and if you don't mind, Gutters. I mean, I don't want to like.
Go ahead.
There you go. I just shared the screen. I got the sound turned off on it because I don't want somebody else's thing coming in and copywriting you. But let's just. I'll skim through it. This is Max Baer. This is Jethro's dad. See,
you look just like him.
Everybody in the ring is 20.
They're
Right.
16.
Right. 7 strands of hair and with everybody in the ring.
Yeah, that guy looks like he ought to be boxing with Jackie Gleason or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the other guy, who is he? Tony Galento.
Yeah, but he's got that old man strength. It probably hurt like fuck to get punched by that guy.
Yeah, that's how Marv's dad was.
Yeah, this guy's like, I've been working at the docks.
Only had a jaw on him. I'll tell you that much. Boom.
Look at these.
Boom. Every time he hits him, he just rattles his brain, dude. Boom.
Look at his arms. I mean, they're fucking longer than that old man's.
But yeah, we need the old school announcing too, going with, and Max Bear misses big on that one. They're going to pull him over to the corner, and he's the winner. He's declared the winner. You know, like.
Can't answer that.
Now for our sponsor, Lucky Strikes.
Now for our sponsor, like you get a cough first. In the middle of the
Give your kids cigarettes.
Take them home to mama.
Oh, look at that. That's a hell of a fight here, though.
Yeah. That's like the 4th knockdown.
I mean, I'd love.
They didn't have.
I love boxing matches with no defense.
I do too, but what I liked right there, like, what's different about this fight than what you see now? Like right here. See, boom, he's down. He gets back up. There is no standing, and I know the camera flipped right there, but there is no. They don't count you out. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is no "Are you okay?" When that guy stands back up, they could just walk over there and start
wailing on his ass again.
Right. Go over here in the corner and collect your thoughts. And that Tyson Douglas fight, Traveling Fools, that was he knocked Douglas out. That should have been a 10 count early in the fight.
Oh, yeah.
He almost got to 10 and he turned around to go talk to Tyson. I'm like, is it clear? Buster Douglas probably should have lost that fight on early.
Oh, man, I bet he's going to have some sore ribs tomorrow.
I mean, they're landing big punches.
Oh, man. Oh, man. People's his monkey.
Ring.
Ow.
Yeah, that's Jethro's daddy right there.
Yeah, take that, you fucking foreigner.
He wins.
There he is fighting Smelling.
This is for the world championship here, huh?
Yeah, this was a big fight right here.
Him just hook him behind the head and pull him around.
Boxing's just gotten so like they don't swap punches, and it's I want to see fights again.
Now it's like slap happy shit.
Yeah, I want to say it's release a tiger after the 6th round if somebody hadn't been down. Just fucking throw a tiger out there in the middle of the ring.
Put some sport back into it. Come on.
Not too long ago, I watched every one of Tyson's fights. Good Lord, dude, that dude was a beast. These guys here would already be on the ground. Oh, you want to trade punches? On the inside? Sure.
Oh, I don't know, though. I mean, that was a hell of a hit right there.
I know, he knocked the
standing there. I mean, look at this.
Knocked his head off. Look at that. My God.
That's where the expression.
and he got back up. I mean, go on.
Right. Stay down, boy.
And these gloves, that's something you're not taking into account either. Look at that.
Not near the padding.
They don't look near the same.
Like 10-ounce gloves or something. Who's this fighting?
I mean, I'm hoping this guy gets on ES or on.
Oh, mommy. He bumped him right on the chin, boy.
Oh.
Let me up.
I mean, this is look at the speed messing up. It's funny. They were really that fast. Look how slow they are now.
I know. You see those people walking on these old films. It's like, wow, why did everybody walk so fast back then?
He just run over there and bring it from
Yeah,
behind
and
him.
no standing
Yeah.
8 count, none of that.
Mm-mm.
And then the other guy walks around and hits him from his shoelaces. Winds up.
Dude,
What's this punch? Boom.
Like, we've taken over Gutter Show. Next is
It's
Gotti
fine.
Ward.
Right. All 3 full fights.
What's that, Gutters? You want to watch rounds 8 through 10 of Gotti Ward 1? Is that what you just said?
Right. So there you go. Pull that down, Gutters.
White boy fight.
Pull that down. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, Bear had that guy. He had some weird stuff where something happened where somebody had died or something, but it wasn't any of those or anything. But he, Max Bear was great. So was Schmeling. All of those people were great.
That was just punch fest, man.
Hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink.
They were just throwing haymakers every time they throwed one.
Now play Last Mohicans. Let's see.
Yeah, let's just play a 2-hour movie.
Right. Let's start the show. Fuck it.
Debbie, what we got to do to beat the Brewers, dude?
I don't know. I want to fire the coach and all the hitting coaches.
I want to fire Rogers, even though he had his first home run.
Everybody who left the team is playing like the best players in baseball history right now.
Absolutely. Well, that's because both of them have, except for Bregman, that's Tuck's playing because, they've only got a year to hold on to him and they got to pay him.
Yeah, he might be worth, I don't know if anybody's worth that much, but I don't know. I don't think we have the best crew coaching these people.
Yeah. What, did they trade Chaz or something?
No, I don't know.
I ain't even seen
I
him.
think so.
Wait, you're talking about somebody named Chaz? Are y'all talking about Texas A&M cheerleading squad again?
Chaz.
I have a signed copy of Blazing Saddles by the mayor who played the mayor on Blazing Saddles, David Huddleston. Tuckered out.
Where'd Gutters go?
Man,
Right here.
Ah, okay. Well, I came back. Y'all were talking about baseball, so I figured she must have been gone. We already went through boxing.
I was letting them babble on.
She was over yelling at Mara. These fuckers are in here talking about sports. God damn it.
No, I was not.
You know, that's something I think we all struggle with a little bit with, with gutters is gutters don't like sports. And well, no, and it's not that that's all. It just comes up in our conversations a lot. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, did you see that? Oh, shit.
Their normal daily lives.
Right.
Yeah. We were talking about how old people looked, and somehow it took us to the father of the guy from Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, that's where it all come from.
Hey, at least we got to sneak in at some good fights there. I mean, give me a little bit of credit here.
Good night, anyways, and good night, Anne.
All hell, Mrs. Mack. All hell.
Hey, Mrs. Mack, how are ya? Good to see you.
What's up, Mrs. Mack? I still have, like, on this other screen over here where I had it, I'm watching the Mike Tyson highlights just came up, so, you can't play those though, Gutters. But it's on my other screen over here from playing after that other video. But don't share it.
Fools is gonna get off of here and he's gonna just go right from here to watching boxing now till he goes to bed.
Probably what I'm going to do too. I'm probably going to watch Gotti Ward 1 when I get off of here and then go to bed.
What a fight that was.
I'm so pissed off. So I ordered my grill for my RV, my Blackstone. And then I ordered a stand to go with it, which the jury's still out on whether it's going to be sturdy enough. We'll see. Marv says it is, but I'm a little leery of it. We'll see how it goes. It was cheap anyway, so no big deal. But
you can always add a stabilizing bar to it, whatever.
I know. But so then I ordered the attachment, the hose, for it to go to a bigger propane tank than one of those little bottles. Well, the hose that I ordered actually goes to, like, if you had an RV that had a quick connect and all that shit hooked to its propane tank. Well, I have an RV that's from 2006 and it don't have that little thing. So I ordered the wrong one, needless to say.
Did you look in the drawers and see if the connector was there? The drawers. Bring the drawers though.
I did.
Okay. Just making sure. Did you find anything else?
Mouse.
No.
Birds?
No.
Okay, good.
No. Everything's great, Mrs. Mack, except I'm going to knock these little fuckers out.
Yeah, everything's great except Gutters is just plotting a plan to stab me and hit me over the head with a hammer.
We're going to open our mail. It's going to have some racing in or something,
We should ban sports from Gutter's show. Just like if she comes on my show, and because RVs are my sports, I should just tell her to shut the fuck up.
Oh, so you guys just sit here and listen to me talk about RVs all night.
Right.
Enjoy
but it's your
it.
show. It's your show, so you can talk about RV toilet paper. You can talk about.
I know, but then you don't
RV
get leave.
painting the mice.
RV toilet paper. Just buy toilet paper and use it.
You can talk about all the mice traps on your RV and all that stuff.
Yeah, you know what?
Or lack thereof.
I haven't caught one mouse, not one. And I found no mouse poop.
All right, so okay, let's do a little poll here.
Okay.
So everybody, you think about, like, where there's a thing of, like, the humane way of doing things and then the bad way. I mean, I hate when people put poison out for things, because a lot of times, like, what if the mouse eats the poison and then that, eagle flies down and gets the mouse and it kills the fucking eagle from eating the mouse with the poison.
That says they have to eat a lot of them for that to happen.
Well, whatever. Or I don't know. I don't like that. Or the random animal that you don't want to kill eats. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. But let's leave that out of it. Let's just go to that sticky paper or the fucking mouse trap. Now, nothing worse than coming in and seeing a dead mouse on a piece of sticky paper, which means you ain't checked your sticky paper, but if you're leaving it somewhere, but at least a mouse trap knocks it out and it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but after it's pissed all over your drawers, I hope that son of a bitch suffers every last second.
I'm with you on all the animals and stuff like that, but I mean, when it comes to mice and rats, everybody's got to die. Everybody's got to die.
Everybody's got to burn that shit to the ground.
You're all going to die and burn in hell.
Oh man.
Yep.
Well, see, I had a problem. There was this mouse. It was funny.
Exactly.
I was staying at my grandfather's, and it was, whatever. I was taking care of him, and then so I was there, and I was trying to figure it out. So for the longest time, there would be this goddamn mouse in that house, and it would, you'd wake up and you'd go in, and I hate shit like that. You know what I mean? I hate it. And I had this battle to try to catch that thing. I put everything in the fucking world out for that thing. And it couldn't get it. This went on for like 5 months, 6 months, to where it became a game. And I'd see it. I'd be sitting there watching TV. He'd be asleep, be hanging out there. They'd run across fucking, God damn it, there's that fucking mouse again. And I ended up, he turned into being like house mouse. I'm like, goddamn house mouse. And I'm making a joke out of it. You know what I finally got him on was a mouse trap and that cheap ass dollar store Cheese Whiz. He couldn't resist that. That's the one thing that finally got him. And I was actually, after I got him, I was like, here goes house mouse, and then it was over. I never had that excitement anymore. I was like, I wish house mouse would run by right now. I'm bored,
TFL the funeral.
I did.
Yeah. Ours did not like Tillamook cheese. And they also didn't seem to take to the peanut butter. So I don't know if it's not hydrated enough or.
I use bread and peanut butter because it molds it. And I've never seen a mouse yet that could resist peanut butter. I mean, you can just clean them out.
Dude, I tried the house mouse. He knew that was.
He knew every trick. Snap. You might have educated. He might have got snapped on one time.
No, he wouldn't touch it. He'd just leave it. He'd walk by and go and do whatever. He had his own thing going on. He was living in a fucking mansion in his thing. He was like, oh, this is cool. He couldn't resist it.
He had knowledge of the trap. That he'd been snapped but not got. And remember, they use mice for all kinds of brain tests and shit. They're smart little critters.
Yeah, he was like Nicodemus from the Rats of Nim. He was like the old wise rat.
Yeah, mice are a lot smarter than rats. Have you ever seen those bucket traps things?
Oh yeah, that's hilarious.
And all those types, they'll just go one right after the other. It won't snap to them that, hey, that's probably not good what's going on.
My buddy just disappeared and never came back. Where the fuck did he go?
He's down there hopping around. What's he got down there?
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I hate mice or rats or any. That's I can't stand it.
Like catching fat boys with chocolate cake, man. It ain't hard.
I really worried about it, like with our airplane, because I mean, if it chews on a wire and then say
Which
it doesn't
one?
necessarily. The one that we fly.
The jet.
It's not a fucking jet.
I think that's the first time she's ever admitted even having a plane in a long time.
Well, I have always worried, like, if a mouse got in there and chewed on some wires or whatever, and we don't, nothing bad happened or showed signs of having issues with the wiring until you got up in the air. That's kind of why, I mean, we've always been a big believer in trying to keep mice away from that kind of stuff, that, anything to do with wiring, but especially the airplane, because there is no stopping and seeing what the hell's going on when you're up in the air.
Well,
You
they
know?
don't do that with. That's the different wire. I mean, mice don't eat petroleum-based wire. Not generally. No, they don't. I mean, maybe if it gets brittle, they might peel it and help you make it to a nest type of thing or something. But it was when they switched to the soy-based wire, and it was everything made in America had to be. That was one of those things under Obama, and they switched to that. If it was being made, they had to use that certain. It was soy-based, and that's when the big problem. And that was just in automobiles, I think. So I don't think that really has affected. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, don't quote me on. I'm not TPR. I don't know everything.
New Mexico mice is a real problem in cars of all ages. We got pack rats that will fill it full of joy and make it their house, but they will chew all the wiring up. They love the old school spark plug wires too, in the distributors.
The big foamy, big thick foamy ones. Yeah. But they weren't eating they weren't eating them as food. They were taking them and using them for something. Wire, not like that soy water where it was soy wire where it was like, here's dinner. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, I know somebody who got a new rig they bought, and it was a Toyota, and of course the whole thing was filled with that soy wiring, and the mice got in his rig and started chewing the shit out of stuff. He was so pissed.
And the Toyota was bad because they were one of the ones, I guess it was being manufactured here, through one of those deals, and to be able to they had to hit those regular. That was, I remember my dad, same thing. He went out and bought a brand new 4Runner. It was like 6 months later. He's at the place getting all the wiring replaced, and then they replaced it. They ate it again in like 2 weeks.
you got to
that's what
remember.
he did to Rick too.
I know this sounds ridiculous, but if you don't want mice getting in your engine compartment, leave it open. Don't close.
That's what he did.
Open it up. So when it's closed in there, and that makes them a mouse house.
Yep.
And then he also put that, whatever that fucking, what is that? Spun fucking metal. What is that shit? That
mesh wiring.
Yes, thank you. He put that all in and around his engine.
Yeah.
And that seemed to have kept him away as well.
Yeah. And then they all moved into the camper.
Right. They moved on to his tractor.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know how good that them little packs you put down for mice are. I've never seen them work. Never used them. Are they any good? Or we used to put mothballs.
No idea.
That's about the only thing I need to put in it. But they got something in little packages now. It's mice be gone shit or something like that.
Yeah, are you talking about the ones that are the little discs?
Well, these
like
come in a little pouch.
Yeah,
I
each
seen them
one you put in a pouch.
Yeah, I've never seen either one of them work. I was just
Well,
wondering.
they're
Had ever
so
used
far. I haven't found any in my RV, and I got them in the bays of my RV, and then all through the inside. So,
are you saying you haven't found any little pouches, or you haven't found any little mice?
no, I haven't found no mice poop, no evidence of them chewing up anything. So hopefully, I don't smell anything like that. So I'm hoping they're gone. You had to wash bath shit off your bedroom curtains this week. Oh my God. I'd be so pissed, son, honey.
So you have bats came into your house?
And we're worried about mice and rats. Bats would be another one that would freak me the hell out.
I've had a bat in my house one time. You talk about
one
time getting that fucker out.
Scared shitless, man. My mom, it was actually when my mom was sick and we were laying on, I was laying on the floor and my mom had one of those mushroom footstools. They look like a mushroom, and it was a dark brown color. And we're watching TV, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see something move underneath that footstool, like under the top of the mushroom part of it. I'm like, what in the fuck? And it starts to come clear to me that is a bat hanging on that footstool underneath it. Oh my gosh. And of course, once I realize it, I'm trying to get stuff, and the kids are freaking out, and the dog's freaking out, and then it starts flying, and oh Lord, it was a nightmare. It scared the hell out of me.
Where I'm from in South Texas, we had a lot of mosquitoes. So we built a lot of martin houses for birds called martins. And also we built bat houses. You know, 'cause they have a bunch of bats there. And there's a couple places in South Texas, man, you can watch these bats come out of the cave, and there's just millions of them come out. But yeah, bat will eat its weight just about every night in mosquitoes. So, I mean, and other bugs, moths and stuff like that, but they love the mosquitoes too, because there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, we always leave them alone. We got it outside and let it fly back into him with its buddies. And,
it was always at the street light, and on the corner, on the curb here. You could see a bunch of them. And when we're fishing at night, they'd come through. We'd have our lights on out there, and we'd see them on the river. They'd be coming out there to pick up bugs off the top of the water there, or get them a drink or whatever. They'd always hit our fishing lines. And they got quite a few. They got quite a few bats here in New Mexico. I'm telling you that. Good night, Flatty.
Yeah, they got lots in Idaho too. Good night, sweetheart.
Well, yeah, bats are like those things. They're really good to have around, but they're, it's just in your mind. It's just a scary thing. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to.
They're a little on the creepy side.
I mean, they're like the top reason for things getting rabies, but it's weird. All at the same time, most bats don't have rabies, but you get one in your house, you have to have that in the back of your mind. Like, I can't.
Why is he here?
I can't catch this thing up close because just in case.
Just bite its head off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember going into this. We were out there diving in the Andaman Sea. We did the cave diving thing. We were going into the cave and going down. And I remember Mrs. Full, she freaked out because we were in this cave. Like, all she was worried about, and this is what was funny, she wasn't worried about all the fucking bats hanging on the goddamn ceiling everywhere, big ass fucking bats. But all she was worried about was from the movies where the water level would rise real fast, so we wouldn't be able to get out. And it was funny. We had to turn her out. She's like, "Oh, I'm not going no further." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was funny."
The one thing about having bats, you can't have a guy like Fauci around. He'll be trying to make something out of it. Oh, yeah, shout out Fauci.
Never know. Big shout out to the best scientist ever, Dr. Fauci. We support him 100% over here.
If I have to see one more fucking person on Twitter, X, whatever, talk about when's Fauci going to jail, I swear to God.
I know that's crazy.
Nobody's going to jail. Nobody.
No. And they're all like, "Oh, it's about to happen. It's about to happen." It's like, no, it's not. It's never going to fucking happen.
It's so silly.
I don't know so much about that. See, we're going to put that guy away. Yeah, we're going to throw his key. We're going to get Alcatraz. Yeah, we're going to get Alcatraz. We're going to throw Fauci for the first person in it. Yeah.
Because here's one reason why it's not going to happen. Because if you take him down, there's going to be 30 other people in that department, but those are who were in on this shit, if you really look into it. And those are people approved by Trump. So those people aren't going to go to jail. Trump's people aren't going to go to jail that he likes from that thing. So Fauci can't go to jail. That's how it works.
I don't know.
It's like the Epstein list. The Epstein list can't be released with only this name and this name and this name and all the others redacted.
Right.
It has to either be released or not released. Well, you know who's on there? I'll bet. I don't know. And this is all speculation, but a lot of, you know, the prince of blah 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 in Saudi Arabia. It's the British, whoever,
Andrew
royalty. It's all over the world, all over the things, all over everywhere. All these names are on this fucking thing. And you can't say, oh, redact, and leave two. You can't. Why is that one redacted? Like, they either got to do it all or not. And the world turmoil that would follow of doing that would be astronomical. I wish they would, but at the same time, do we really? I mean, it would crash the fucking. I still think that guy was CIA.
Oh, absolutely. I don't even think it was. I don't think he died. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe he did either, but
You
that's
know,
one I'll go with you on, Duggar.
You gotta stop and think about that. You know, Trump, his the one of the one heads he wants on the wall is Fauci. You know, and the people that he worked for. I don't know, man. I think there's going to be a little more cleaning what's going on. After all,
We ain't seen it in forever.
Well, it's only been 100 days. You know, come on. These people have been in there since the 1960s.
What do you think, LW?
All we can do is have hope.
I think the pharmaceutical corporations are bigger than Mr. Duggar thinks.
O'Keefe is coming out with something today.
Well, O'Keefe is just a fucking content creator on fucking YouTube.
Okay.
He's come out with like 50 things before. And did any of those people get in trouble?
Nope.
He came out with those things in 2021 about Fauci and the pharmaceutical companies. Nothing ever happened to any of them. And they're not, it's not, I don't know. Don't hold your breath is all I'm saying.
I sure wished it would happen, but I don't think it's going to.
I do.
Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever fucking happens.
If you have enough money, it's not going to happen.
To me. I think I'm going to hold the optimum hope. I'm going to be the dissenter here and say a lot of these bitches are going to jail. That's why he's trying to get Alcatraz back up. Just so Pelosi can see her home over there.
But here's the thing, Mr.
Well, from what I hear, that Alcatraz is not for them. That is for all the illegals that they still have here that, you know, they've got to put through trials and all kinds of bullshit.
Now here's another example. Okay.
I hadn't heard that one.
What about the Alcatraz thing? Because I find it's so funny. It kills me every time when I see it on X. But what's y'all's thought on Alcatraz in this?
It's old as fuck. They ain't bringing that back. That's just him talking Trump shit like he always does. And people take it seriously on both sides. He ain't reopening Alcatraz. I mean, Jesus Christ, that place is a goddamn tourist facility that is, they're like looking at it like they're looking at fucking Fort Sumter or some shit like that where the Civil War started. They're not bringing that back. They're not going to tear down the old one. They're not going to bring it back. He's just talking out his ass like he always does, and it just makes everybody talk about something else. And yeah, he ain't reopening Alcatraz. I mean, I'll if he does, then fucking A. Yeah, you know, but right, I don't see that happening.
The reason it's not working is because the salt erosion and everything. It's not.
It's old as fuck.
It can't be fucking restored, and it would take years and $1 billion to restore it.
$1 trillion.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When it pisses me off, the right will say, or he'll say something like that. All his little people like Benny Johnson and fucking Jack Poso and all these fucking retards will go out and say, this is happening. We're going to reopen Alcatraz. And then people will, at the same time, will say, well, fools just, and not anything against you. I'm just saying what they do on Twitter. He's just trolling you. He's just trolling you. while at the same time, everybody on the right is like, he's going to reopen Alcatraz. It's just a shit show everywhere.
And
It's dumb, and that's why I look at it like he'll say something like that, and they'll just blow it out of proportion. These people think, and everybody believes it. The other side gets all mad. They're all retards. I'll definitely go with that.
Maybe because it's making them lose their minds.
It's making
both sides
lose their mind.
They gotta immediately take a stand and start a narrative against anything he proposes. So, you know, what would you do? Keep baiting them? Hell yeah, why not?
Or the other side, though, is taking the narrative and having to stand up for it and pretend and try to figure out how it's a good idea.
Maybe.
While 100 million people sit there and click on this nonsense content that'll move on to the next clickbait thing 2 days from now. Yeah, you know, I do agree with you, LW. You know that.
Short memories.
Oh, I was telling you earlier, I was keeping up with I keep up more with Texas politics because I'm more of the opinion these days. Do your local politics first, and if everybody does their local politics, that should spread out to the federal. Is pay attention to your local stuff. But they had this bill, and I saw these, you know, Gunther and Cat Turd and all these people, Benny Johnson on the right, and all these people. Texas has fallen. Texas has fallen. There was some bill that they were saying that Texas is making it illegal to post memes. And these are huge people, huge accounts. Benny Johnson, Cat Turd, and all these fucking retards. Texas has fallen. Texas has fallen. So I found it curious. I was like, well, what are they talking about? I live here. Well, what are they talking about? So I go look at the bill, and it doesn't say anything of what they're saying.
What is the bill?
All the bill is saying is that people who hold political office can't post AI memes with videos of their political opponents doing things without declaring that, hey, this is AI, by the way. That's it. But all these people, Benny Johnson and Cat Turd and all these people, they said that Texas is going to arrest regular Texas citizens. They didn't read the bill. I read it. It's clear as day for anybody. Like, it takes a third grade education to read that bill. And all of these people were calling for all of these Republicans in Texas to be kicked out of office. And they didn't read the bill. And it was clickbait. And it even has like a Twitter disclaimer saying this is fake news. And they still post it.
Yeah, and I'll say many things, like to your point there. It's like, you know, spending a lot of time in Georgia. You know, there's a million good things. Now, you mentioned Brian Kemp's name, and he has pissed me off over and over again. Duggar probably absolutely hates Brian Kemp. But as far as being a governor of Georgia, he is a really good fucking governor. And there's many things. If you're reading Twitter and blah, blah, yeah, he's done some things that, you know, that have irritated me and things, but throughout the whole Kung Flu and throughout the whole, you know, he's carried that state very, very well. And I so I see what you're saying, local politics as opposed to national politics that you know nothing fucking about. I don't know anything about politics in fucking Texas.
Well, right. But it's like you're local. But that was my point, is that, okay, so here in Texas, our politicians that we elected proposed a bill basically saying, well, AOC can't post an AI meme of Donald Trump fucking a goat, right? Without saying, hey, this is AI. He's really not fucking a goat. That's all it is that politicians have to declare when they use AI. It has nothing to do with individual citizens. But my point about it, that's our thing. That has nothing to do with anybody else in the country. And
it's a good idea.
Right. But what I'm saying is these national accounts on X and all these national pundits are telling the rest of the country that Texas has fallen. And then all of these people who follow them are berating these Texas politicians, telling them that we're going to vote these people out, vote these people out, vote these people out. A lot of people that we know, but you know.
When I like people saying they're going to vote them out when they live like on the other side of the country too. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they get the Texas people riled up who follow them, and all these Texas people. I tried to talk to a couple of them. I was like, "Did you read the bill?" I posted it for them. I even had a couple people message me and tell me thank you. I didn't read the bill. Thanks for clarifying that. Like they sent me private DMs on it. Like they were freaking
and that's
out.
awesome. Yeah,
they were freaking out. They were saying, "Get rid of all these Republicans," and all of it over fake news.
Turmoil sells.
Right. And you know what all these big accounts did when it was proven wrong? They never retracted. They just went on to the next thing.
Yep. Next news cycle, next thing. And that's what I miss. And I've lost respect for a lot of these people watching, people who, when they were small accounts on Twitters and you know what I mean? I've been in contact, you know, the people I'm talking about. I've lost respect for a lot of them because of that reason, because they came on as something. Now they're making a shit ton of money and they're somebody totally different than they were when they started. And that irritates me.
Right.
Am I right? Am I right or wrong? Sheila McCullough says, never American, forever Canadian. If you live in Canada, you're in North American, you know, you're from North America, that makes you an American. That makes you, you know, right? Am I wrong or right?
No, Duggar, come on. No, Sheila can be proud to be where she's from, as we're allowed to be proud where we're from.
She's a Canadian.
You know, man, that's fine. She can be proud Canadian.
Well, I'm not saying she couldn't.
I've been to Vancouver once. It was nice.
Oh, I hate Vancouver. I thought that was the nastiest fucking hellhole. But Victoria, that's gorgeous.
I went through Canada, you know, went to Quebec when I was 15. You know, went to Niagara Falls and Quebec and, you know, all that jazz. I liked it. It was cool. I even brought back a shirt from Canada. Ain't nothing wrong with Canada.
Never been there. Wouldn't mind going.
I mean, Dudley Do-Right was cool.
Don't worry, sweet Nell.
Marv's been all over Canada working on aircraft. Like they call and it was always, you know, wintertime when it was nasty and nobody wanted to go up there. But he got
Marv's like, I don't want to buy another fucking airplane or camper. I'll go.
Yeah, give me the fuck out of here, man.
I got to deal with this lady.
I ain't fixing no more mice drawers either.
Love you, Gutters. You know, I'm kidding.
He ain't fixed shit on my RV. Well, he has, but not.
You hear what she said? My RV. It's not their RV.
It is my RV. It's not. Just like that airplane ain't mine. That's his airplane. My RV. And he knows it. I make the decisions on it.
Get a divorce. See how quick it becomes half yours.
It's like that joke. There ain't no I in team. And the other guy's like, yeah, there ain't no we either.
That's right.
I never heard that one. That's a good one to come back with. Oh, my goodness, man.
Yeah, I never tell him what he has to do or what he's going to do with his airplane or anything like that. I wouldn't want to. I mean, that'd be so. And he's not the one that researches RVs. He only knows like the mechanical and the very minute part of it because it's a damn diesel. So
he can work on it then.
Oh, he does. He does, but only the underneath side and only what's not above his head. Like we had some issues with the exhaust brake and that just became kind of a huge cluster. And it was like, okay, let's take it to the shop and let them address it.
At that point, Gunner's like, yeah, this is our RV.
No, it's still my RV and he can get his hands off that motherfucker because I'm taking it to the shop. That's how that goes. I'm telling you.
I still salute the man Took one for the team. I don't care. You can eat at free range.
Now, Gunners, let me ask you this: how much longer are you going to run this show?
6 hours.
No, I mean, you talking like 45 minutes, or are you ending it in 20?
I'm probably going to end it in like less than that.
Less than which one?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
All right, I got you.
Yep. Probably. It's already 3.5 hours, and I start.
No, I
hitting
know. I
burnout.
totally got it.
Yeah. Yep.
That means this is about to get exciting, folks. That means this is the next 10 minutes is going to be the best 10 minutes of your life. Make sure you stay tuned in. So,
Exactly.
Put your seatbelts
And
on.
TF, what's TF have planned? Are you doing trivia? Are you doing anything the rest of this week?
Oh yeah, Thursday night we'll do trivia. Yeah, well, yeah, not to be confused with internet, real life stuff. But yeah, tomorrow just working in my shop as usual, and doing my normal daily thing that I do as a contributing citizen to society.
Which means doing what Mrs. Fools tells him to do.
No, I take her to work in the morning. I do my thing.
That's
Nothing to
it.
do with that.
She's got a honey-do list right on the counter, and he goes by it.
No, not at all.
I think Traveling Fools has a man card. He refuses
Yeah, he
to
has
go.
a man card.
I hate to admit it, but I think he does too.
He refuses to go inside TJ Maxx, so it's all.
He has a man card that he keeps in her purse.
No, Gutters, that ain't true.
No.
And the beauty of it is she wouldn't want it the way you're talking about. She wouldn't want it that way.
She likes a man.
That's actually
she likes fools to tell her what to do.
Relationships that got so crazy.
Don't let Gutters hang out with her, TF.
A woman shouldn't.
A good thing.
A woman shouldn't want their man to go hang out with them in TJ Maxx. Back in the old day, they were like, "What are you doing here? Let me shop."
Right? Who wants what woman wants a man that's going to be like walking around a fashion store going, "Oh, baby, I think this is going to look great on you." Like, come on, those guys are gay. I mean, it's just true, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's just true. Go find your gay friend and go shopping with them. That's fine.
Marvin, I try not to do that to him. Oh yeah, come shopping. No, and I don't like him going shopping with me because he's like, "Oh, can I see the price tag on that?" No, fuck off, get out of here, go away, find something else to do. Go look at your own price tags.
Yeah, both sides.
So I don't like him to go with me.
Both sides are screwed up. Like if I say, I got to go to Lowe's and go get me a new fucking Sawzall. I don't want you to be like, "Oh, can I come with you?" Like, no.
And bring the dog.
Right.
No. I don't do that. But if he says I'm going to Harbor Freight, my ass is in the rig before he can get freight out his mouth. I'm telling you.
Now, one thing I will laugh about is and LW can vouch for this. Gunners, you probably can too. That I've sat in parking lots of TJ Maxx's for 3+ hours before. Okay.
Oh no,
not saying a word. Just okay. Have your fun. But now I pull into a Home Depot and be like, "All right, I'll be right back out." 11 minutes after I'm in there, my phone's ringing. "Where are you?" And I'm like, "What? Shit, I got stopped at the first tool out." Trust me, the life is challenging.
Yeah, Marv would do that to me, and I would never stay in the store I mean to tell you, if he's staying in the rig, I am like getting out of there as quickly as I can. Because if I don't, then it's not like he'll be super bitchy, but he might not be in the greatest of mood, and then it just kind of messes with his day and my day, and it's like, fuck that. I'll just hurry up and go through. I can, if I want to pilfer around, I can do it on a different day. Today's not it. So, but he doesn't usually go to the store with me either. So,
Smart man.
yeah, very smart. Fools.
I always liked shopping by myself, even when it was like the choice of like grocery shopping. I'm like, just, I like to go in there, get what we got to get out of there.
Yep.
Either you do it by yourself or I'll do it by myself. But I'm not going to go down every aisle and look at every item.
When I go grocery shopping, I do a mad dash, and I know, like I
Oh
have.
no, Mrs. Bowles will go into a
stuff.
grocery store. We'll pull up there, and I'll be like, "I just got to run into grocery, 5 things." An hour and a half later, I'm still sitting in the fucking car. It is insanity because, she checks the prices on everything, checks the thing on everything, checks the thing. No, wait, let me see this. Is there a coupon for this? Is there a thing? Oh my God, fucking goodness. Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's like, oh my God. I mean, I'll pull up. Thank God for YouTube. She says we're going to the grocery store. Let me, make sure I make this obvious. She doesn't ask to do this every day or anything like that. This isn't like a daily thing. But I make sure I take a cell phone charger with me.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah, I really try not to do that. If I'm gonna do something like that, I will leave his ass home. There's just no way. She doesn't drive though, right?
No.
See, there's the difference. I mean,
Yes, I'm sorry. That's why I
know you're good because
and said that wasn't every day. I'm not talking shit. I'm not being mean.
No.
But still sitting there for 3 hours is like, oh my God.
Yeah, Marv would leave me there and say, I'll come back in 3 hours and get you, but I'm not sitting out here for 3 hours. That's what he'd say. He'd leave my ass there.
Yeah, go to the bar. That's why I've always said every mall, everything like that should have a strip club in it.
Right? Or something.
No, a strip club. They should just add a strip club, or at least in the lowest form of that mindset, a Hooters. Like that should be attached to the mall. Like, all right, baby, I'm going to get some chicken wings and a beer and watch this football game.
What's wrong with just a fucking bar? Why is it gotta have?
There has to be that like jealousy thing thrown in there to where they're going to be like,
you're out of your rabbit ass mind.
Oh well, when you're like me and you walk in thing and every girl in the place looks at you, you understand exactly how that works.
I am so sorry, honey. Oh Lord. The noticer, actually, I'm getting ready to shut it down. We're just getting ready to head out, actually.
All right. Well, on that note, I guess the only lady here is kicking me out. So
no, I'm not kicking you out. I'm gonna just stay right there. Hold tight. Hold, and I'll shut this bitch down.
I've been
holding
it tight for like 2 hours.
I know it.
Oh, purple.
I appreciate that, LW.
Purple tip. It's so wrong. You guys just send me down the wrong road. Okay. On that note, before that note, I was saying thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us. Have a great night. And if I was really good, I'd already have this ready to go.
Step right up, got tickets on sale. In today's episode, trains coming off the rails. Watch it all burn from the screen on your phone. But don't you worry about it, you're safe at home. Every talking head will tell you everything's fine. It's the blind leading the blind. Yeah, it's a circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through hoops. Y'all wish that I was lying, but you know that is the truth. Get your popcorn ready and pour you something strong. If the world's still spinning, the shit show goes on. circus out here, we're wobbling on a wire. There's a lady with a beard, clowns juggling fire. Elephants and donkeys got us jumping through